All right. Thank you.
All right, bye
Bye.
bye.
I just watched cops fucking steal a kid on YouTube live. I'm pissed. I'm getting a hold of the fucking police department that did this. They had a search warrant with no names on it and lied to gain entry into the house. Uh, I'm pissed. I'm more than fucking pissed. It was News Now Fort Worth. They stole her child from her. Yes, they came to the house. They had a search warrant. Came to News Now Fort Worth's house and had a search warrant. Showed it, and it had no signatures on it. So it's a null and void search warrant. And then forced their way into the house to steal her child. Me being a Native American, that hits home pretty hard. Me being people trying to steal me from my mother, that hit pretty fucking hard too. So I'm going to fight for this woman, and I would ask each and every one of you to fight for this woman to get her child back in any way you can. To the what I saw was nothing short of Germans going in and stealing Jewish children. And what I saw was nothing short of the U.S. government stealing Native American children off the reservation. That's what I just saw. History repeating itself. This is something we need to fight, people. I'm so mad I'm crying right now. I ain't been this mad in a long motherfucking time. This woman needs help. Jen, if you can get any information on out there to help her with any monetary stuff she might need to get her child back or anything else, that would be great too. I ain't got much, but I'm going to give to it. You damn straight, I'm going to give to it if I can. The, like I said, this is nothing short of Nazi Germany going in and breaking into Jewish people's houses and stealing their children. This is nothing short of them going on to reservations and stealing Native American children. It's nothing short of that. It's the same exact fucking thing. And it's only going to get worse. Take it from someone who knows this through the Native American community. It took a fucking war with the Native Americans, a literal war. I'm talking bullets flying, people dying for it to stop. We don't want that to happen. If we could stop it now and stop this shit in its tracks now, that don't have to happen. But we got to stop it now, people. And that's the truth right there. Or it's going to take that much to keep your children safe in your home. If you don't believe me, that's something Native Americans will freely speak to you about, is how their children were stolen from them and what it took to get it to stop. Hey, HBR. Sorry, I'm I'm sort of sideways right now. Sorry about not having a link in there. but Native Americans will freely talk to you about it. Very few Jewish people will talk to you about what happened in their history, but Native Americans will freely.
Okay. I put the first link up of the video before they came. They were at the house the first time, and News Now Fort Worth chased them off because they did not have a warrant or nothing. The second video was while they were there. When they showed the papers at the window, there was no signature on those papers. And then when she went outside to ask for them papers for the warrant, that they kept on saying, "You'll get the copy tomorrow." And they weren't. He wasn't looking in the chat when a couple of us were saying demand for that paper now, so you can actually film it and have it there.
No,
They would not
well,
give it.
well, hold on here. At least when they showed it up at the window, they got a good view of it at the window with no fucking signatures on it there. So they used a fake warrant to get into that house that was not signed by a judge.
Yeah, there's no judge signing these
No,
things
they're
at
not.
this
And you
time
know
of
what
night.
also they're doing? If there was a
Hell,
signature on it, they need to say who the judge was so you can call. There is a number you can call to verify if that judge really did sign it.
yeah, there's no judge at this time of
No,
the night.
it's a
They can't
lawyer
even make
sign.
their daytime hours. They're not signing this
And
shit at
that
nighttime.
CPS worker that was there was sued before for falsifying freaking on another video. It was like on a different video. It was on matter of fact, it was on S Production said it. On the grandmother's I forget what her site is, but she has a video up of the same worker that got in trouble for falsifying stuff.
Right.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I'm up in it too.
You don't know how this hits close to home for me because they tried to steal me from my mom when I was a kid.
And that
And
baby,
I had to go hide in the woods for days at a time to keep cops from stealing me. Okay, but I was old enough to do it, you know.
that was
And
an innocent baby that could not get away.
right, and then they knocked her down. The fucking pigs knocked her down with the fucking baby in her hands.
That lady
That's
cop,
what.
yep.
Oh my
That
god!
fucking
My
little
blood.
bitch, fucking blonde bitch, fucking
Oh,
cop.
my blood. I'm way calmer now because I smoked a joint. Because my blood was so boiling by how fucked up the system is. These trained cops that may think they're doing right, even
It
though
was
they know they're
Tarrant
not. They're
County.
doing illegal as fuck shit. Uh, they're stealing. They're breaking up families, and they're thinking they're doing it in the name
Tell
of fucking
Lou,
good, and
ask
they're
Lou to
fucked
shut down and
up,
come over
man.
here, please.
I'm sorry.
Ask Lou to please shut down and come over here, please. My me too.
Uh,
I could. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to overbear everybody. I'm sorry. I'll
no,
shut
No,
up.
you're good. You're
bro.
good.
I need to calm down. I need to calm down myself, bro.
Thank you, G
That
Mama.
shit hit being Native American, living on the Native American reservation, and hearing the horror stories of how they stole children, hundreds of fucking children for the Native Americans.
I've
Then
got
you
to go
watch
again
the
before I
horror
get too
stories.
overbold over all this bullshit. I love you, Timmy Lynn, Gen T. I've got to go,
Love you
man.
too, HBO.
I
I'm
know
so fucked
you're
up.
good. You're good, TPR. You're good.
That shit. But when you hear the horror stories about what the fucking Germans did, that's fucking Nazi fucking Germany shit that they just did to that woman. Literally. Or fucking Andrew Jackson shit. Stealing Native American babies.
Yeah, I was telling. I was trying to tell
Same
Tammy.
thing.
I was trying to tell Tammy while I was on the phone. He needs to calm down because it's not helping the mom out. But even though the officer yelled at him first, I told him he's got to calm down a little bit.
I've already cussed out 7 cops already.
Yes, I know. I knew you were.
So you know. and two fucking phone operators.
Well, that's why I didn't yell, but I went loud enough to let them know that warrant was not signed.
Yep. And I saw it myself. As soon as she said that, I looked over there and you could see it before they pulled it away from the window. That motherfucker was not goddamn signed at all.
Either that or one of his family members called and ratted him out. That ratted that the mother and the child was there. Yeah, the warrant was never served, and when he told her to get that copy from them, they refused to give it, and they kept on saying that they would give it tomorrow.
That's because they're going to wait until morning and find some sucker judge. They're going to find some sucker judge to fucking sign that paper for them tomorrow morning. I'll guarantee you. And they'll date it for last night. And I'll guarantee that. And I guarantee you, if you got any PayPal or anything else like that, Jen, if not, find it. So I know I ain't got much money, but I'm going to be sending her some fucking money to get her a fucking lawyer.
If I can get a hold of News Now Fort Worth, I'll find out if he still does. If I can get a hold of him. He wasn't even paying attention to chat. That really ticked me off because everybody was telling him, do not sign anything. Get that copy of that warrant or have them give it to you so you can document it.
Yep.
Better. Yeah, the kidnapping.
And then they're trying to say, oh, there was no proof. This bootlicker, he thought he was a fucking he was going to be this fucking detective. He playing detective. He's a bootlicker, fucking goddamn
Safety man, hello,
phone.
Thank you for airing that, safety man.
He was a bootlicker, phone answering guy, playing detective, and said he didn't see nothing. I called him exactly what I called him. I said, you're nothing but a bootlicking piece of shit. I said, you don't have no rights to play detective, and I don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say.
Because CPS thinks they know they're God, and they think they know better than what the parents can do. Ever since they had that one court ruling, CPS thinks they can walk over anybody they want to.
CPS can't. Quit opening the doors for these fucking goddamn people. CPS has no right to come into your fucking house.
Yep, no right at all.
The only way they have right,
calm down,
is if they actually truly hear from that house.
DDT hugs.
That child's in danger. And I've looked that up. It's that way in Texas. It's that way here in Pennsylvania. It's that way in Michigan. It's that way in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
Tammy, calm down a little bit because Dan's asleep on the couch here. I know you're upset. Gotta calm down a little bit. I can hear you all the way out here with the headphones. Dan fell asleep on the couch. I know you are. I understand that. Try to calm down a little bit.
These motherfuckers are stealing children.
Texas is known to do that.
And get this, they had Groyevich. That was the name of the fucking tracking program that they decided to try to track my phone with. Groyevich. Sounds German, don't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, DDT, this warrant was not signed at all.
It was right up at the window, and there was no signatures on there. DDT. I don't care if a judge signs them 24/7. That when that warrant was presented, it was presented without any signatures on it. So therefore, that warrant is null and void until a judge's signature is put on it by law. They could not even show it by law. Now, you want us to come in here and try to start? I'll blow you away on this fucking law shit. This is something I've done massive research on because of them stealing Native American children all the way up to 1998.
And they're still doing it. Look at all the illegals that are coming over. Yes, cop broke law. Yes, they did, Barbara. And yeah, you gotta come down and think clearly. Yes, you're right, safety man. Because otherwise, we ain't helping the mom out at all.
Absorbing atomic energy without
I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't want no one. You don't want to try to troll me on this one. This ain't one to troll on. I've done massive,
Trolling tonight.
I've done
No troll.
massive research on this shit. And I worked with, so you know, I also worked with President Bush Sr. on his Native American Council with my uncle and his grandfather as well.
Was it, or was it Jeb? Because
No,
Jeb was governor down there.
I was working with the president out of D.C.
Oh,
Then
okay.
we worked with Jeb
Okay.
almost 15 years later
Okay.
for
Okay.
the
I was in
Native
charge.
American
I
rights.
thought, Jeb was
For the
governor
Native
down
American
there too.
rights, yeah, for the Native American rights of the Florida Indians
Yes,
down
CP.
there.
Well, see, the thing is that's funny is the lady that was was taking the child. She got sued. They got sued before because of her, of falsifying stuff. There is like one or two videos out that I saw with her in it, and she got in hellacious trouble with it. Why she's still working with CPS is beyond me.
And I can't get
I
over
did
that
post.
fucking woman.
I
They
did post
get-
the link up top. If I need to, let me know. I will post it again.
They kept saying she needed to calm down for the child's sake, and then when she went to hand the child to someone else, the fucking female, so the child would be out of harm's way. She went to freaking hand the child off to someone else, and that blonde bitch fucking cop knocked her down with the child in her arms. So, really, did they have the child's best interest at heart? Fuck no. Fuck the Gator. I'm an FSU fan.
If you need to see the video TGT, I will be more than happy to repost both links.
Post them, please. Post them. Keep posting them. People need to see this shit. People need to see this shit.
All right, let me get back into his channel here.
And I'm still waiting on a superior officer to call me.
They ain't gonna call, you know this. But you need to calm down first before you get to talk to him again.
I'll be calm as long as he don't play bullshit tiddly.
I know, but you gotta think of the mom. You gotta think of helping her. And yelling ain't gonna help.
As long as they ain't doing bullshit tiddlywink games, I won't play. Fuck you. You're gonna do your job games with them, and you know that. Andre Ray, I am very thankful for what I have. Very thankful. I thank God for everything I have every day, and that is the truth. By the way, I like the Andre the Giant thumbnail. Andre Ray.
Tell Lou to please shut down and come over here, Juanito.
Who's live that you're telling to shut down?
Apparently Lou's live, and Juanito's asking you to shut down and go over there.
I ain't going over there. I ain't going over there. Sorry. I don't want to cut into Lou's live stream with this. Lou's got other things he probably is talking about right now, and I don't want to cut up his live stream with it. I apologize. I love Lou to death, and y'all know I love Lou to death, but I ain't going to cut up his live stream with this one. If he wants to come over here, that's a different story.
The big one.
Yeah, even you, DDT, believe it or not.
You do. Did you tell everybody?
I thank him even for my trolls.
I'm not top vigilante hunter.
You slaughtered half of New York. Single-handed. Unassisted mass murder on a scale not seen in human history.
Because, you know, here's one thing about some of you trolls out there.
Stop this.
Well, I can give you this, and I've seen it. I've seen some of you trolls in action. When you get something that you believe strongly in, you go to no lengths to get satisfaction for it. Okay? You have no bounds to get your satisfaction. So hopefully this will hit true to your heart.
Yeah, El Jefe said he would go back live afterwards.
I'm hoping this hits true to everyone's heart, and they find it in their heart to help this woman in any way they can. Because the theft of a child is unfathomable. It's beyond reasoning. It's beyond all total true thinking. Okay? To steal a baby out of its mother's arms. When I saw that, you don't know how bad I wish I would have went to prison for beating the fuck out of a cop. I promise you I would have that tonight. Or I would have went to prison for trying to beat the fuck out of a cop. One of the two. Either way, I don't care. When I seen them knock her to the ground, and then that male cop fell on her, by the way, to hold her to the ground with that baby in her arms. Nah. That's unfathomable. Unfathomable. That's beyond any reasoning, any thinking. Oh, we're here for the child's safety, but we're going to knock you on the ground because you're trying to get the child in a safe place so that the cops can be dealt with in a safe manner. Yeah, that's really them cops weren't there for the safety of that child. They were there for one thing and one thing only: retaliation. That's retaliation, and I guarantee you, if you look through her fucking videos, both them fucking little prick ass cops have been on her video somewhere, and that was all retaliation to her keeping them in line.
They like firing
Yep.
from the heavens.
Do you think we'll really be able to save John?
Yes, they are demons, Barbara. They are straight out of fucking hell to do something like that.
Well, her precious quantum centrifuge prepares his energy for transfer.
It's freaking ridiculous.
I'll be right back. I need some coffee. It'll help
Yeah.
calm my nerves.
Yep. Go calm down.
What's she going to do with this power when she's got it?
Nuckins hugs. Nuckins, I've been posting videos of, if you remember News Now Fort Worth, his sister-in-law just had her baby ripped from her arms from a CPS of a fake, say it again, a fake warrant.
Seeks to attain the power of a god must be prevented at all costs from attaining. But believe me, that
And
power will not rest until she has
it was a bunch of bullcrap.
Not signed. It had no signatures on it. So
Yep.
null and void until the signatures put on it. So they had no right to use it in the commission of their crime of breaking and entering into a house.
Mm-hmm.
takes one to know.
And that's exactly what they did. They broke into their house. They were in the commission of a crime. They were in the commission
Fort Worth
of a
opened
crime.
Opened up the door, and they came walking right in.
That's in the commission of a crime. They were told also not to come in the door.
From the mother, yeah, from his mother.
And a couple other, and that guy, whoever
And
that
the
guy
father.
was.
Yeah, and the father.
Okay. They were both saying, do not come in this house. Do not come in this house.
You need to tell your friends to leave. They have to go. Or they'll get hurt.
So
Yeah, so despite of what you think of News Now Fort Worth, his sister-in-law needs help.
yes,
Yeah, I know. I know it does, Nuckins, but this is wrong. This is way out of hand. Texas is worse at doing it than
that's the
anywhere else.
problem. That's the problem. We're letting it be a reality. Okay, let me tell you what the Native Americans faced with reality to keep them from fucking goddamn stealing their children. Okay, they had to go to war. Literally, bullets flying, people dying to keep the fucking government and make the government open their fucking eyes to the wrongness of this. Okay. Then we were capable after that got the eyes open. Then that happened in Reagan's administration, by the way. Then they opened their eyes and freaking we were able to do something with President George Bush Sr. on that. We need to do something now and make this not a reality anymore. Because we don't want to get to the point that the Native Americans had to keep their children safe at home with them. Let's take another group of people that they stole their children out in the middle of the night. Nazis going into Jewish homes and stealing their kids straight out of their cribs in the middle of the night, putting their parents on concentration camps and putting their children in these boarding houses to recondition them to become perfect little Nazis.
I'll
And the
tell you
ones
what,
that they couldn't, and the ones that they couldn't, they shot and killed.
this is touching everybody. Everybody's going live with this. Everybody's going live with
FEMA
this.
camp, FEMA camp. Purdy word for reservation. Purdy word for detention camp. Purdy word for I'm going to put you in a gas chamber. Purdy words. Think about it, people. Native Americans went through it. The Jewish went through it. And now the general American public today is going through it.
It's crazy, people.
Let's get out there and help these people any way we can. We need to find out as much information as quick as we can so we can help these people get their child back and back in that mother's arms where it belongs.
Because the wind knocked out Emily's out there.
As far as I know, she went to her in-laws to get away from her abusive husband or whatever it was, and she was there for safety for her and her child.
Easy go.
Hello? Yes, Sergeant Morris. I just watched on YouTube Live on a live stream 2 of your officers, and according to a dispatch of another police department, it was two Terrence County officers. broke and entered into a house with an unsigned search warrant. And it was live on YouTube, bud. That cannot be faked. Okay. That ain't a splice. That ain't a splice. It ain't a that ain't they edited it or anything else. That was live straight on YouTube. They put the warrant up to the warrant that they supposedly had up to the window, and it had no signatures on it.
Okay. Would you like to speak to him?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay. We can call you.
Same number you just called me on. When do I expect that phone call? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. Are we so nothing more needed to be said between us then, right? Sir? Sir? Hello? He's there, but he ain't talking.
That's why I became a cop. And I realized there's a reason that's me hid his face.
Huh. All right. Well, I'll wait on his phone call. Sir? I get to talk to a lieutenant now that was supposedly there. He hung up finally. He hung up. They were trying to trace my call. That's all they were doing. That's
Yeah,
why
they were
he
trying to
was
see if you were in Texas calling because of the Google numbers being out there, seeing if they could trace it.
They couldn't. And my service blocks their shit as soon as it comes in. The tracer is blocked. I could tell
That
them what.
child is a baby. That child was no more than maybe 5 or 6 months old, if that.
Yep.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I ain't worried about them. As a matter of fact, he used Obama. Let's see here. What was the other one?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, he used Obama and he used GIF. JIPH.
Oh, that's the new one that they have out.
It got blocked by my service.
Yeah,
Dumb cops.
We have a guest room. You can come home and stay if you want. Just
It gives me the number or the IP address of what they're trying to trace me on, and then it also blocks them from getting any information from me, even where I'm at, which is really cool. And you gotta, and I tell you, if you got T-Mobile or any affiliated company with T-Mobile, what you do is you call them and ask for that service to be put on your phone. They'll do it for you for free.
Archie.
They'll ask you to update your phone and everything, and it stops them dead in their tracks. It don't matter if it's cops, it don't matter if it's government, it don't matter if it's anybody. It stops them dead in their tracks. Just tell them you want the service. You want a service to block people from tracing any of your calls or tracing your IP address or your VPN address.
You got me for a moment.
And they'll have you do an update and they'll put it right on there for you.
You have no proof. I didn't. This is your proof.
What's funny is my phone, this phone I have here, hasn't made any calls for the cops or anything. And if I'm trying to text something, it's freezing. They're trying to freaking ping my phone.
Will end.
Well, I know it's a Pennsylvania number
Yeah.
Seems to happen.
But they're working
because
through
I had to give them my
working through
number.
my internet.
All this time.
I had to give them. Yeah, they're trying to get through on your internet.
Yeah.
Because they realized I was watching I was watching the fucking stream, so they're trying to get through on anything they can to try to get to us to know exactly where
Yep.
we're at.
Yep.
I saved mankind. Again. And you.
Fucking stupid.
That guy talks too much. He really fucking does.
And I want to see what type of lies this lieutenant's going to say while we're live across YouTube to y'all. And I'll try to remain calm. I'll try to remain calm.
Yep. Think of the mom.
I am. Yep, Gen T and Nuck and Futz is in the house. You're right, Metalhead. There's your sister. I'm too damn ugly to be a sister, and I got the wrong plumbing to also be a sister. But if you want to call me your dog, you can call me that.
Metalhead hugs.
Yeah.
And I'll post your thing for you, Timmy. If anybody wants to come in.
All right. You're
Copy.
posting it. You're posting it, or do you want me to?
I got it. I got it for you.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm doing my
I'm
mind's
doing everything
spinning
here.
100,000 miles an hour on how I get this woman some help, more help than she probably will ever expect. Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember how to get in contact with that Native American lawyer that specializes in these child abduction cases by the government. And he'll do it pro bono for and sue the piss out of them on top of it.
Not to be mean, but I hope that baby gives it whoever that baby is with, hopefully a hell of a hard time. Because it's not with its mother.
I wish all hell comes onto that woman's head after that baby's out of her hands, so the baby don't have to see it or be subjugated to it. And then I hope hell falls on her head and then shits a big load of shit on top of her head.
Sorry, guys.
And the same as that fucking female fat ass bitch blonde cop.
Yep.
I hope all hell breaks
I will
loose
be
on
right
her.
back, guys.
And I hope it opens up and rains a running shit all over her. That's what I hope for that female blonde cop. That knocked her down with that baby in her hands because she was trying to hand the baby off so that the baby was not in harm's way. Sorry, y'all. When I first opened this stream, I was really, really pissed. I was so fucking pissed I couldn't even see straight. I was crying when I opened the stream. So anybody who's seen this from the beginning, I apologize for the way I was. But you got to remember, this is shit I fought for and fought against for years. And I don't care whose child it is. I didn't get fucked with anything, buddy. News Now Fort Worth's sister-in-law just had her child stole out of her hands by the cops with a false police warrant it had no signatures on it, Metalhead. The warrant had no signatures. And it's right on YouTube. It was on live that there were no signatures on that paper. And they absolutely refused to give her a copy of that warrant, which they're supposed to give it to them immediately when they asked for it. And they did not. They absolutely refused. They said they'll give it to her in the morning. Well, what that means is Well, we know we don't have a signature on the paper, so we're going to have to get it in the morning when a judge wants to, when we can find a judge that's willing to be a patsy and freaking sign this damn warrant. That's what that meant. So. That's why I'm trying to remember that how to get in touch with that Native American lawyer that specialized in child abductions by the government and government agencies. He specialized in it. That's all he did. All he does is specialize in child abductions by government and government agencies and gets the children back in their parents' hands. That's all he does. And then he makes them quit. If they don't quit, then the real money starts coming out of pocket because they can be sued. They are held liable for that child, and if anything happens to that child, they're liable for it. And no, they can make it. The lawyers can make it to where that no insurance will take that. Lawyers can do that, so they are fucked. It comes out of their ass then. They become the liable party. And these lawyers, that lawyer, he does that and he makes it happen. That's all he specialized in for almost 15 and a half years. That's what he specialized in.
Yeah.
What's up, bud?
For you. Hey, bro.
You're pointing the wrong way. I'm up.
Fuck it all.
Yeah, fuck it all. Yeah.
Fuck a doll. I don't want to fuck
it
a
all.
doll. Oh, my blood pressure is through the fucking roof right now. I need to take my jacket off. I have no heater going and I'm fucking roasting.
That's why I try not to get pissed off because I want to get like that.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, that's something I've fought with for years.
Yeah.
It's something I'm passionate about. Children should never be taken out of a loving family's home.
Nope.
Okay.
Who's been doing
when
that?
there's plenty of fucking drug heads out there that just totally neglect their fucking children and they just go on past them.
Yep.
Because they know they ain't going to get no money out of them.
Yep.
That's why.
Yep. That's what it's all about with our government.
And it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Yep. Who was that you said again?
News Now Fort Worth.
It's on her channel.
I can post the links again.
It was her sister-in-law.
I don't know.
It was the sister-in-law that this happened to.
Yeah. But I've been posting links to his first video and his second video.
Fort Worth, there it is. Okay,
and she's got links, but he might be on his phone, and you know how fucking YouTube's doing with links on
no, he's on his computer.
Well, got my computer ordered yesterday. It says I should have it by Wednesday, but it could be Tuesday too. You never know.
Right.
257. Can't beat it.
Right.
The thing is, Fort Worth should never open that damn door.
The cops had no reason to step through the fucking threshold.
No,
None.
They didn't. None.
They had no true working physical warrant.
You want non-working warrant. I'll give you a StreamYard's link. Hang on.
That is no different than someone opening the door for me and me walking into their house.
As long as you're respectful. No trolling tonight. No arguing. And you need to move for it tonight because I will bounce your ass out.
Hey, Gamito. Hey, dude, I was in
here.
You
join the panel, DDG. I don't care. Just be respectful, dude.
Salty. So.
Hey, Metalhead, what's up? What's the topic tonight? Jen touched on it briefly, but
News now Fort Worth, her sister-in-law just had her baby ripped out of her arms by cops with a false police report and not report, excuse me, a false police warrant. It was they had no signatures on that warrant. You could see it when it was up against the window. So it was a null and void warrant. So it was a null and void warrant. And News Now Fort Worth opened the door, and as soon as they did, they forced their way into the door, and which is illegal without the warrant. And because they were told not to come in the house, repeatedly told not to come in the house. And then when the girl went to hand her child off to someone to get it out of the harm's way, this fucking fat ass blonde pig police officer knocked her to the ground with the child in her arms. And then the guy cop fell on her with the child in her arms to keep her from giving the child to another person to get it out of harm's way.
What the fuck?
why were they at the person's house in the first place? Didn't sound like the people there were in harm's way until the cops got there.
To try to steal that child.
They were saying from the first, what I understand from the first video, because I watched the first video, News Now Fort Worth said it was her.
Can you see and hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, clickbait here. Clickbait here, thank you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you,
Right,
Juanito.
But
Thanks.
it was apparently the husband is abusive. The mother got away from the husband because of the criminal husband or boyfriend, whatever, and went there to her in-laws to be, for safety and to move in for safety, to get, that way, the child's safe and she's safe. And someone tipped them off that she was there with the baby.
And then here come the cops, and they showed how much they were for that child's safety. Knocked the woman down with the child in her arms, fell on her with the child in her arms, and then snatched the baby out of the woman's arms.
Yep.
Now, how much were they for that child's safety? They were not.
And then they were trying to say that baby was in, at the end, tried saying that baby was in immediate danger. That baby was in no danger at all. That baby was healthy. That baby was only 5 or 6 months old.
That baby looked healthy as hell to me. Sort of chubby cheeked. Maybe, if anything, maybe a little bit overweight. Autotron. All right, guys. Just because I'm going in the back for Autotron don't mean start fighting. Let's not do that, okay? This ain't time for that.
Don't even start, guys. No fighting at all.
This is time to help that one
out.
Who's fighting? Come on.
Hey, Peachy Hugs.
Autotron, what's up?
Hey, guys. No, I'm not here to cause any drama with anybody on panel. I'm not here for that.
Yeah, let's concentrate on what the topic is tonight.
Okay, but if you guys dwell on this all night, it's just going to stress you out.
Well, it's not that really drought. We're trying to get the awareness out. And, this needs to be called in because this was actually false documentation.
Are all the facts in? I've been busy. I just got home from work.
It's like I said, in the video, you see in the video when that officer put that paper up to the window, there was no signature at all in that paper. None.
I still have, come on, you guys been talking about this. No? Hello, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, Peachy Rider. I hope Peachy's doing good tonight. I got good news for her.
It's weird. I see Gen T talking, but I don't hear her, but I hear you.
Yeah, her mic's muted.
That's weird.
Go watch the videos I've been pasting. The first one and
There
then
she
the
is.
second one. You will see it, so you will understand what we're talking about. Hey, First Observer, hug.
You see that coffee you
Hugs.
made?
He's not across America, hugs.
Yeah, baby, look at that. Oh, yeah. Nice.
And I'll tell you now, I am waiting on a phone call. As soon as that phone call comes in, I don't have one of y'all going in the back because y'all going to listen to that phone call because it's going to be supposedly the lieutenant of the cops that was there when they served that warrant tonight.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be really sweet. Hold on.
When that happens, just put me in the back.
Well, there's 5 in the panel now. He can have up to 9 people. Tammy, you can have up to 9
Oh yeah, I
people.
forgot I can have up to 9 people. I bought the subscription. Duh, idiot moron. I'm an idiot moron.
No, you're not.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And that's neat with the coffee maker. My ex-husband has that.
Hey, well,
Hey,
Mina,
did you
I
realize
was
that
in your
3 of us
stream
on the
earlier.
panel have no teeth?
Yeah, we're the Two-Fist Mafia. Remember?
Well,
That's
looks
right.
like we've got a.
And you're the toothless one. The
I'm
Godfather.
the godfather of the toothless.
Yes,
We've got a
you're the
cop in the
Godfather.
live stream right now.
Yeah, we do. I don't care.
Hello, Mr. Cop. You've
I
been
probably
exposed.
have 2 more watching as it is right now too from Dixie County. They always watch my live stream.
Okay, someone has
told me so.
permission to talk.
So, he ain't the only one. He's just the only one that's got balls to talk in my live stream. The other 2 don't have
There you
balls
go.
unless it's hidden from everybody else.
Wait, what? Who, me?
No, I'm talking about the other 2 cops that come into my live stream from Dixie County, Florida.
Yeah, there's one
AK
now.
Twin Mommy hugs.
Who's that?
Hi, Perth Observer hugs.
Hey,
Peachy Rider hugs.
Hey,
Metalhead hugs.
Exactly, Perth.
Knuckin' Futz, that was me. I'm glad you heard it. That's nice. Who taught me that?
Well, that's up to you. That's up to you, Metalhead. You know you're welcome here.
Well, I got really bad news for you guys. We lost a dear friend last night. I got really bad news for you guys.
All right, whoever's got YouTube on, shut it off.
Oh, that could be me. I'll do that.
No. I know who it was. It was News Now Across America. I was picking at him.
Hugs, sweetie.
I was
I shut
picking at
it
him.
off either way, but yeah, we lost a dear friend last night, I believe.
Mm. Okay.
Sorry for your loss.
Our old buddy Night Shadows got doxxed, and that's just, it's tragic.
Night Shadow's on right now.
He is.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, it's tragic.
All right, WTG, have fun with that.
WTG, hello and hugs, and
yeah, I'm here to spread awareness about a child being ripped out of a mom's arms by
TPS and cops.
And cops.
Okay.
I'm not here to listen to troll.
If he resurrected, I'll leave you guys to yourself. You know, I just wanted to deliver the news. He claimed he was undoxable, and didn't work out quite that way. So,
all right.
Okay, guys. Oh, thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Bye bye.
Thank you.
That's why I don't have a problem doxing myself. Everybody's doxable.
Yeah, I've been doxxed. I don't know how many times.
Hell, you doxed yourself, Salty.
Exactly.
All right,
I've listened to you.
But I was originally doxxed, so then when I doxed myself, it didn't really make much of a difference.
Well, I doxed myself before anybody had a chance to dox me.
I was doxxed back in 2014, so it kind of just stuck and rolled downhill.
Dragonfly,
like
hello and hugs.
Hey, Dragonfly, what's up, bro? Y'all, we really, really need to try to do something to stop these child abductions, because from the government, we really do. Because the simple fact is, it got to the point, it got so bad with Native Americans because they could not fight back until they did fight back the only way they knew how, and that was with guns. And that happened back in the 80s. Okay. In the early 80s, they fought back with guns. People got killed. People died to make the government open their eyes to see that this was wrong, to steal people's children. Okay. We don't want that to happen again. That was a nasty, nasty time in Native American history, and it was also a nasty time in the government's history and the United States history. It's so nasty. It's hard to even find information out about it. Okay, that's how nasty it was. We need to really work on this, and that right there was a number one bullshit fucking abduction of a child, because they came up with a unsigned search warrant saying they had the right to be in that house. When you have no signatures on a search warrant, that means it's a null and void search warrant. They abducted that child. They stole that child. The government found out they couldn't do it to the Native Americans. They found out they couldn't do it to the Mexican children no more, because these people stood up for their fucking rights. Now it's time for all of us to start standing up for everybody's rights on this. To steal children out of a loving home is fucking wrong. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's wrong. Okay? We need to fucking stand up for this. If this don't hit you in the heart, I don't know what will. I don't even have any children that of mine. Okay. So, and it hits me in the heart so bad that I was crying. I was so mad when I came on this panel earlier and started this. Okay. That's how bad it hit me in my heart.
I thought, I was watching, I thought they said when they showed the search warrant through the window that it was signed.
No, you could look at it. You do not see a signature on that search warrant.
Yep.
Okay, well, I was on my phone. I couldn't see that small.
Right. Yeah, there was no. When she said, "There's no." She likes to think out loud a lot of times while she's watching YouTube, and she said, "There's no signature on that warrant," and I looked, and there was absolutely no signature on that fucking warrant.
And then the cop, when he went to put the thing back up, he put his hand over the signature part. And you still couldn't, even at the very start of it, the very start of the line, there still wasn't a signature.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, News Now Canuck, I see you there. This is Clickbait. How you doing?
By the way, hey, News Now Canuck, you sexy god in the north.
That's another clickbait. News Now Canuck.
Yep, that's another clickbait right there. He's that sexy god out of the north right there, buddy. They absolutely were in the wrong on that. Totally. There was no way they had the proper reasonings to come in that house. They were told to not come through the door. The search warrant was not signed. They had no reason to get in there. And then when they got in there, the lady tried to hand her child off to someone, an older lady that was standing there, I guess their grandma or whatever, and tried to hand the child off to that woman, and that fat ass blonde bitch cop fucking knocked her to the ground with that child in her hands, and then that male fucking cop jumped on her to make it to where she could not hand that child off to that woman, and they snatched that child out of that woman's
Her
hand.
hand or arms.
They didn't. She didn't hand it to them. They snatched it. So this is something that is near and dear to my heart, because May tried to steal me from my mom, and I was, thank God, old enough and had been taught enough survival skills and things like that. I could go run and hide out in the woods and stay out in the woods until the cops decided they didn't want me no more. Okay. And that's how I kept them from getting me. I did it. They came to my school one time, and I ran out of the classroom and got out the back door of the school and freaking hid out in the woods again. Okay. That's how they did not get me. Unfortunately, this child was like a 5-6 month old baby. Didn't have that opportunity or have that learning, I'm sure, at that time.
They wouldn't even show the mother the warrant. They wouldn't even show her. They wouldn't even give a copy. They said, "Oh, well, you'll get the copy tomorrow."
Yeah.
Bull crap! That warrant should have been in her hand, placed in her hand so she can see it, and or that News Now Fort Worth could sit there and look at it and would have documented.
Right. And do you know what that translates into? Better in layman's English, it translates into, oh, we know we don't have a signature on this document, so it's null and void. What we did was illegal, so we're going to get a patsy judge go sign this later and date it for last night. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
See, I don't know what the law is there. My parents was a foster parent for like 10 years. And Tennessee law, which I know every state's got a little bit different law, but Tennessee law, if they see an imminent danger, if they do find bruises on a child or stuff like this, they can actually take them without the warrant, but they have, they got to put them immediately in foster care, and they have to get the warrant signed or the paper signed by a judge like the next day.
Well,
but now
they didn't have that opportunity.
I know.
They just showed up there. They just showed up there. They didn't have the opportunity to see that.
Yeah, I'm not saying the cops are right there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a little bit of devil's advocate. I mean, I do understand a little bit of how that part of the system does work. And what they will do now is they will actually use body cam footage and say that she got hysterical with her baby in her arms, which put the baby in danger.
Which that would be a total fucking lie.
Yeah, David.
She didn't get hysterical until after they put her to the ground.
I know, I understand that, but that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, thank God it was live on YouTube, huh?
I know. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that's how they work.
Like I said, thank God it was live on. Thank God it was live on YouTube, huh?
Yep.
Right. Exactly. But I just like I said,
yeah, I'll get the video. I'll get the video again, both of them.
It really it was wrong. I mean, I was watching it too.
Every bit of that was wrong.
They
wait until this fucking the lieutenant supposedly the lieutenant with the cops that served that warrant is supposed to call me back.
He won't.
No.
Now you want to? I guarantee you that motherfucker could put my. If he does, he's going to lie his ass off, and you damn well know he's going to lie his ass off to try to cover his ass. Okay, but here's the problem. Like I said, thank God it was live on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. I believe me. I am not in DCS's back pocket because I don't like them son of bitches at all.
I can't
I've seen
stand
them
them.
screw up too many families, and I can tell you right now because, like I said, my mom and them were friends with a lot of the social workers, and they would tell her in a heartbeat, you know, we do admit that sometimes we take kids that did not need to be taken. But if we just take one kid that was in danger, it was worth it. Say what?
Yep.
Worth it, my ass.
So what I'm trying to understand is if the lady who had the baby got away from her husband, who was a criminal, doing criminal acts, and they came to a house where they knew she was at, what was the point of taking the child in the first place? Was she under indictment or investigation for any crime?
They knocked and said, we are here for the child's safety.
Would lead them to believe that the current place where she was at now, away from her husband and all of his misdeeds, what would make the police believe the baby was not safe and well cared for?
Because CPS wanted that child prior.
Yeah, CPS
They were
is
making
trying to
sure
get
they
this
were going
child.
to get that child.
See, they
They
tried
were
this.
in contact.
They tried this earlier, and they got ran off.
Yep.
CPS was hell bent to get that child, and has been hell bent from what the story I understand to get that child. Okay.
Well,
And when
they
CPS has you on their radar, and this is something I've seen, if CPS has you on their radar to get your child from you, they're going to do everything they can, including fucking lie, to get that child away.
And Texas is known to do this repeatedly. And that CPS worker that was there has had CPS sued already for falsifying reports of warrants.
Texas also has another very big, distinct, has a very big black mark on their record. The last 14 Native American children stolen from homes off of the reservation was in Texas. They've been stealing fucking Mexican children left and right. In Texas. Until the Mexicans stood up and said, this is enough. Okay.
Well, my question is,
Go ahead.
if CPS is taking all these kids across the country and a lot in Texas, as you say, well, what the fuck are they doing with the kids? I mean, like, where are they ending up? Like, why?
Well, I'll tell you, the Native American children, I can tell you where they went. They went to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, to the Native American Indian reservation school in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, which was ran by nuns and priests, and they were turned into what they called functioning people of society. And in other words, they had their Native American heritage literally beat the living hell out of them. My aunt down in Tampa right now, if you look at her back, she has scars from the right here on her shoulder, right about here on her shoulder, down to her just below her ass cheeks, where when she spoke her Native American language, they literally beat her bloody with a cat of nine tails. They and things like that. Okay. Now they ain't going as far as I know, they ain't going so far as that with the children today. But here's the thing. If a child's in a loving home, and as you can tell, she was trying to leave a bad influence, get away from a bad influence. It shows me that's a pretty good loving mother to me. Okay, so that child won't be subjugated to that influence. Okay, that sounds like a loving mother to me. Okay, why are they taking this child out of a loving home? Makes no sense to me. Pisses me off. Okay, when I see crackheads out there, and I literally seen this with my own two eyes. A crackhead sat there. He had been called on by numerous people for burning his child with cigarettes. Okay. CPS went into the house and never took the child out of the house. They had records and pictures of that child with cigarette burns, healed cigarette burns all over its body. And they never took that child out of the house. Okay. They found the child dead in a hospital, at the door of the hospital, where the guy finally confessed to killing the child. Now, why aren't they taking care of shit like that? Because that happens every fucking day, that type of shit. Why aren't they taking care of shit like that instead of taking children out of loving homes?
You ask why they take them out of homes, why they're so hell bent on when they start looking for someone, they are going to take the kid. Now, again, I'm talking about the state of Tennessee. I don't know about other states, but I'm pretty sure this part's all the same. For every child that they take, the state gets a grant for a certain amount per year to take care of that child. The foster parents only get a portion of that. A small portion.
Yep.
Foster parents only get like $200, $300 a month to raise these kids. It's not for the damn money. You'd have to have 20 or 30 kids to support a damn household.
Yep.
So you're not doing it for the money. But they are. They definitely are.
Oh, I know, Peachy. I know.
My fucking blood pressure's through the roof, Peachy. I'm sorry, too. So, but it's something that needs to be brought up. It needs attention brought to it. It's something that needs attention brought to it immediately.
This is kids. Sorry, kids are way important.
This is something that needs attention brought to it immediately, because we don't want it to have to go to what the Native Americans had to do. Okay. Native Americans literally went to war for their children. Had to. Okay. In the 1980s. You can find stuff on it. It's few and far between. You got to look hard. You have to search hard for it. Okay. But in the early 1980s, it was like 82, 83, right in that range. The Native Americans went to war. People died on both sides. Literally. Shooting and killing each other over it. We don't want it to come to that. But I know of one case where it already came to that. It happened down in Florida.
What was the name of that incident that it took place?
It really didn't have a name back in the 80s. It didn't have a name. You just need to look up child abductions in the 80s by the government, things like that. That's how I find it. I look it up through that.
And it's really hard to find what you're looking for.
Yeah, it is.
Seems like you put a lot of stuff in the way of trying to find it, trying to block it out, if you will.
Well, it's a very dark spot in history. It's even a dark spot in Native American history,
What state did it happen in? Was it in Oklahoma?
Where actually the last showdown happened in, I believe it happened in, I want to say Utah or Colorado. The last final showdown was there.
Yeah, it's an entity of the government, and unfortunately the government has way too much power, way too much money, unlimited resources, and they don't.
And we're the dumb bucks giving them the money.
I know, and that's the problem.
It's pretty bad that I have friends that will tell their friends that they need a babysitter to call me, and they will reference me. They tell their friends, don't bother going through the state childcare stuff. Call me. I had a couple of friends of mine that had people call me and ask me if I could watch their child. That doesn't even know me because they trust me that much and they know I won't hurt their kids.
Well, be careful with that because they'll get you to run the government will try to get you for trying to run a daycare without a fucking license.
Well, no, the only way they could do that is if I had more than 3 kids in my home. If I had more than 3 kids, they could get me. But if I only have like 1 or 2 or 3, they can't do shit.
Well, just be careful
Yeah, I know.
doing that.
But I hardly, it's every once in a while that I'll have somebody call me up, hey, can you watch my kids so I can, or if their regular babysitter is off or something. But they don't trust the system. They don't trust even the child care system.
I don't trust them because I know I have an aunt I don't even like anymore because she's a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. That runs the what is it? Head Start 123 daycares down in Florida. She makes millions and millions of dollars every year, and she'll say if a child, let's say the child was playing, fell, bumped itself, okay, and had a small little tiny bruise on it, she's turning them into CPS. Okay. I'm sorry. Kids are kids. They're going to fall,
Kids are
especially
going to
when
be
they're
kids.
learning
They're
to
going
walk.
to get dirty,
Yeah.
and have bumps and bruises from falling.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially when they're learning to walk.
It's not as much about a kid having an accident. It's when a kid has accidents steadily.
In places where it's not normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they got a bruise on your
a
butt,
bruise, a little bitty bruise. She turned a child into the CPS, called the CPS to take the child out of her daycare because it had a small bruise right here. And the only thing that saved them people from losing their child was they had a video of when it happened, and the child was just learning to walk. The child fell and bumped itself on the coffee table with its arm as it fell.
Excuse me.
Okay, that's the only reason the courts awarded the child back to the parents. Is they had that video. Thank God they had that video to show the court how that child got that bruise, because they weren't going to give that child back at all.
I can believe it.
You're welcome,
them people love that child to death. I got to know them people very well. They love that child to death, and they all but bubble wrap that child now because they're afraid that some dumb shit like my aunt is going to fucking turn their child in for having a bruise.
Right.
I mean, that's how bad it is. They all but roll the kid in bubble wrap and send it outside to play. Send I'm keeping the identity of these people and even the sex by out of the stream because I don't know if they would want me to talk about it much or whatever. That's why I called the kid in the it. So y'all know I'm not trying to be against the kid or anything. I just want to keep all identity out of my stream because I don't know if they would want me to talk about it. But I can talk about the story and that piece of shit aunt I had. Okay. That's being a piece of shit. And she was told the kid fell trying to walk. My aunt was told that and still did that. From the daycare and told CPS to take the child out of her daycare. Now that's bullshit. That woman paid my aunt $150,000 Literally, that's how much it costs for a child for a year to go through in her daycare. Okay, because it's supposed to be one of the world's #1 top Head Start schools and all that. Okay, because they got ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and everything playing from the time. They're little bitty infants in a crib, and they got them in this daycare doing the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. Have audio books being read to them all the time. Have people sitting down beside them reading books all the time. Shit like that. Okay. And these kids are coming out. The kids that have no problems going through the daycare are coming out, and they're way ahead advanced. They're way advanced. Okay. So everybody's like, okay, that's the part they're seeing. It's not, they aren't telling them, hey, but if we see one bruise on your kid, we're calling CPS and having them take them out of our daycare and letting them deal with the problem from there on out. The mother didn't even have a chance to do anything until she was summoned to court. And she had to wait on the court to make up their mind when they were coming to court to fight it. Now, granted, it took that one time, that one video, and the judge said, okay, give the kid back. Don't fucking harass him no more. Okay. But it took almost 2 months for the courts to even hear the case. So they were without their child for 2 months. That's a sad, sad, sad fact right there. And that's way too much goddamn power.
You know what, Timmy? We were even talking about this morning.
A little
Remember?
bit, yes, we were. Yes, we were. We were.
I
We
was
talking.
the story, but we were talking about this shit this morning.
Yep.
Oh, because of what happened to Sasha last night.
Yep. It was Sasha. See, there's another one. Sasha, last night in Colorado, they tried to steal her kids from her. Thank God for Ghost Rider. And who was the other one?
Real Soft Citizen.
Real Sovereign Citizen showing up there. Thank God. Because they would have probably had stole another person's children.
Yep. And
they said they were in a bad harm's way because they live in a motel. Guess what? That's bullshit. That's a house.
And because kids were yelling. Kids are going to be kids.
You know, when I was a kid, I yelled, I screamed, I jumped, I farted, I did everything when I was a little kid. Okay? I jumped on beds, I fucking did it all. Okay? You know, kids are kids. It's going to happen.
Right?
Yeah. I screamed, I yelled, I would go, I squeal, I do whatever. Okay.
I don't remember his name, but what about the guy who took his kids camping? They took his kids.
Odo. That was Odo. That's another one. They tried to freaking.
That was bullshit.
That's another one.
That one was a retaliation.
I never heard of
straight up.
I know when I was camping, you didn't. I mean, you had water in jugs. You pissed outside if you had to pee, and pooped along. You had toilet paper.
Well, if he was, the thing was, wasn't he in a camper? I think because I watched his stream after that, and he said they were in a camper.
Yeah.
And if they're in a camper, they probably didn't have like house running water, but usually they've got a.
When you're camping, you don't have house running water.
Well, some campgrounds do have a hookup where you can hook your camper up and have water and store water. Some campgrounds don't. Okay. They have a spigot outside that you have to go get a jug full of water and bring it in. I'm camped in both. Okay. But they would have really shit if they knew how I went camping. We'd load up a boat with all our camping supplies, go get on a riverbank, and we didn't have running water except for the river. We got our water out of the river. We boiled our water. if the river had been running nasty because of floods or whatever, we filter our water through our jeans pant leg. Okay, by sand. We put sand, charcoal, sand, charcoal, sand, charcoal, and sand. Guess what? Same exact thing they put in your house today. It's called a sand charcoal filter. They'll put them in your house
The
today
son was
for
in the camper. The daughter was in the truck.
They'll put one in your house for $1,000 right now. Same exact filter. It's the way we filtered our water. Okay. It ran it through the pant leg, caught it, and then we boiled it. You know what we did? Now we filtered it and boiled it and made it distilled water. Okay. That's what we did. So we had clean water the whole time, everything else. We had to take a shit. We didn't have toilet paper. We went right down to the fucking river and washed our asses after we got done taking shit.
The thing is, it wasn't even cold out. It was still summertime. Come on.
I
Don't
agree.
get me started.
I agree, Dr. Fudge. What's the difference between camping in a damn tent or camping in a damn truck? It don't matter if they were in a camper or if they were not. There ain't no fucking difference between camping in a truck or a tent. At least in the truck, I can fucking I turn on my truck and have fucking heat. In a tent, I ain't gonna do that. I can't start an engine up in my tent and fucking have heat.
Well, let me tell you another little thing too. The reason that DCS gets away with this shit is when they take your kids, the first thing you want to do is get your kids back. You don't really pay attention to what they're doing. You want to get your kids back. You want to do what you need to do, jump through all their freaking loops and hoops and climb their ladders and do whatever they ask you to do. And they
still add more.
And they keep adding more. What they're hoping you do is say, you know what, the hell with this, it ain't worth it. Well, a parent is not going to do that.
That ain't, by the way, hold on, let me address something real quick. IQB, that wasn't freaking hate. You want to see hate? You should have heard how I was talking to them fucking cops on the fucking phone when they were trying to play games with me. That was hate. That was true venom. I ain't come off and cussed you out yet, bud. I ain't called you a fucking piece of shit and a fucking public servant that needs to do their motherfucking job and quit being a piece of shit. So until you know what true hate is, don't say I hate you.
Either to me either. What you're seeing is passion.
That's exactly it. You're seeing a passionate person speaking in a passionate way. I could be. If you want to see true hate, you should have heard that phone call that I made earlier when they decided to play their little mind fuck games with me that I wasn't about to play. Then you'll see true hate. Just saying.
Oh, people, when they get their kids back, they don't keep pushing it. If you get arrested, and you've got all the proof, because with DCS also, you got all this paperwork, all you got to do is look there, you'll find the mistakes. But if it's you getting arrested, the most they can do is arrest you again. Yep. You ain't worried about that. You're an adult. But when it comes to your kids, it's like, okay, I don't want to take and push them. I don't want to poke the bear.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my kids back. I'm not going to give another reason taking in. And this is the very reason they keep getting away with it. Yep. Because you don't want to poke the bear, or try to push it off the cliff, because if you do, it's going to attack you again. And you're going to lose your kids again because they will find a reason.
You know what my mom did with me when she decided to attack back? You did. My mom was the mama bear. I'll tell you that now. When my mama lost it, she fucking lost it. She went out for blood. Okay. And when I say she went out for blood, she went out for jobs. She went out for getting people fired. She went out for getting pink slips in people's jackets, everything. Okay. All she could do. She sent me off out of state to my grandma's. And guess what? Ooh-wee. They didn't like what my mama came down with on them when she finally had enough.
I'm just waiting for I could be. If something happens, I could be, and then he's gonna sit there and whine when something happens, and expect everybody to listen to him, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh well, that's what's supposed to happen." And he's gonna sit there and say, "Well, no, it's not." Well, guess what?
Welcome
You'll
back,
see.
Juanito.
Sorry if that's being rude. Sorry, that's how I feel.
Well, it's the truth. That's just a dose of truth. Hey, Juanito, how are you, man?
Welcome back, Juanito.
You ain't talking. Can't hear you, Juanito. Can't hear you.
Juanito.
Your audio's not working, bud. I bet you he's talking away and his audio ain't freaking working for some reason.
I've got a friend who had issues with DCS. They took his kids, him and his wife's kids, when they were little.
Mm-hmm.
Same reason I just said. He didn't want to poke the bear.
Mm-hmm.
His oldest one was 13 or 14. When that oldest one turned 18, he went for DCS.
Mm-hmm.
You got 7 years. Statute of limitations works for them just like it does us.
Yep.
But that way, they could not screw with that kid. You know, that was the one that they had took, and you know, they sit there and like I said, people need to watch, pay attention, and you really need to, if you see they're screwing you up, just screwing you over, you do need to go after them. I mean, I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I know last thing you want to do is cause yourself any more problems with what you've done been through with them. But if you don't, they're just going to screw with someone else's kids. You hold them accountable.
Yep.
I know it's hard to do. And quite frankly, I hate to say this again. The whole situation pisses me off all the way around. But the fact is, in this situation, the cops answer to DCS. They tell them, "Come with us. This is what we're doing. Back us up," and they don't have a choice. And again,
yeah, they do. They could say that's unfucking lawful. Yes, they do. They have the choice to say that's unfucking lawful. That is their job, is to obey the fucking law and support the law and everything else with the law. If they see one person, DCF, fucking anybody doing wrong and breaking the law, they're supposed to stop it, not go along with it.
Yeah, but all they tell them is we've got to go pick this kid up. Period.
You're right, Knuckins.
Sound working now?
Yes, it's working now, Juanito.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, cool. News later, Canuck.
Love your backup channel, bro.
Yeah, this is something that's dear to my heart, and I fought with it for the Native Americans a long time ago, and I fought against it a lot. And here's the problem, and I've seen this happen not too long ago down in Florida. Some cops came with the DCF and stole some kids out of a house down there, and these kids were begging. Now they came in there, supposedly they said the kids were being beat. Okay, That's what they came in there on. And now, if these kids were being beat, why were they beating on the DCF worker? Literally, let me go. I want to go back to my grandpa. Let me go. I want to go back to my grandpa. If they were being beat, why were they doing that? Don't take a rocket scientist to know these kids ain't being beat like they were trying to say. Okay. The guy was diagnosed with cancer about 10 days before this happened. Okay. No one knew he had cancer. They found it out in his basically his suicide note. Okay. It was, and he literally loaded up a 12 gauge shotgun. He found these two cops sitting in a restaurant and shot them to death. And then went and sat out in the truck, threw the gun out the window. It's laying on the ground. And he waited on the cops to show up. Now, according to the police report, there was only one shot fired, and it was him shooting himself in the head. According to eyewitness reports, there was over 300 shots shot into that truck. Okay.
The truck, of course, that disappeared.
Yes. No one can find it. So needless to say, that shows you the retaliation against him shooting two of the Thin Line brothers. Okay. But he knew that was probably what was going to happen. And he wrote a suicide note and he said, if they're going to steal my life away, I'm going to steal their life away, and they can totally destroy my life the rest of the way. That was what was in his suicide note. So he knew more than likely what was going to happen is he was going to be killed when he went and shot them. Okay. He had no intentions of fighting back because the gun was out the window on the ground. But that shows you how far some people are willing to go. Okay. And it's going to only get worse for these cops if they keep this up.
Yep.
They need to quit backing these people and forcing them to go by the law.
Yep.
And then if they decide not to do that, don't fucking whine and cry because the ones that didn't force the law to be upheld, don't whine and cry that they got shot and killed because they weren't forcing the law to be upheld.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I can say. There is no tear in this eye for a cop that wants to do something illegal and get shot and killed, or allow something when their job is to stop something from illegal happening and they know it's happening and don't stop it. I have no tear in my eye for a cop that won't stop that and they get shot and killed.
Yes, I wonder why everybody's getting so offensive. Well, gee, do your job the way you're supposed to do, and maybe you might get a better response.
That may sound like a prickish thing to say, but I don't care. That's how I feel. Okay. If you don't do your job, and when your job is to uphold the law, okay, that don't mean to uphold the law against a citizen and not against this government agency over here. Their job is to uphold the law no matter who it is. If they ain't going to do it and they get shot and killed for it, but fucking wham. Had it coming. Should have done your fucking job.
All right, Knuckins.
And here's another thing. Family of them cops got off of, and they had video proof of his family going and burning that house down that man lived in, that his wife was still living in. Burn it down to the ground. She had nothing to do with it. She didn't know what was going on. But yet they got off of that and they had video proof. And do you know what the judge said? That's not admissible in the court. I won't allow that into my court proceedings.
It don't surprise me.
So, yeah. So that shows you how corrupt it is down there. Okay. And then people got to walk away from burning it for felony charge of arson. Okay. A felony charge of arson. They walked away from for scot-free because that judge would not allow the videos, which was 2 separate videos from street cameras, okay, of them driving up to the house, taking gas and pouring it on the house and setting it on fire.
Well, hell, if they would have allowed the videos, they would have said they were distraught. Temporary insanity. You know how it is, crazy bullshit.
That's why that's why she said she wanted a jury trial on it. But because she wasn't the defendant, she couldn't ask for the jury trial, according to the judge. Only the defendant could ask for a jury trial, according to the judge. And then the judge wouldn't have missed that into court on top of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had her caught in a catch-22. They were the defendants. She was the complainant. So, and that's how that went. It's big bullshit, if you ask me. I hate to say. But that shows you the retaliation. It shows you the corruption. It shows you everything in one case. Okay. And how it all started out with CPS and the cops not doing their fucking job and upholding the law. If they would have
Even though
said,
they could have had that baby stay there, could have told the mother to leave and go somewhere else, and that baby could stay there because that baby was with family.
if they would have, if they would have just said, no, we cannot go to that house and open that door without a warrant, because that's how they did it too. They didn't they didn't even show nothing. They just broke open the door. One of them kicked the door open. Okay. And came in and took the children and pulled their guns on them, by the way, and told them to hit the floor. There's the rest of that story. Okay. Pulled their guns on that man, an older man. Pulled their guns on him, told him to hit the floor, told the children to hit the floor. And then the CPS worker went over there one at a time, picking the children up off the floor. And they're beating the hell out of the CPS worker. Let me go back to my grandpa. Let me go back to my grandpa. You know, it don't take a rocket scientist to find out that goddamn CPS worker was a lying piece of sack of shit that caused the death of 2 cops. Okay. And that's who I think murdered them cops. But then again, the cops, it can be held responsible too in their own right, because they did not uphold the law.
Love and hugs, HBR.
All right, HBR, you have a good night, man.
Night, HBR.
Night.
So,
well, I mean, there's no doubt this country is getting so out of control. So, you know, it's I honestly don't know what the answer is going to be.
It's going to come down to, if something don't change quick, there's going to be gunfire. I hate to say it. It's inevitable, because something's going to ignite something. Okay, somewhere. And it's going to ignite. And it's going to be a ball of wax that we don't want on fire. I'm telling you that now.
The one thing the government has done successfully, which is not right, but they've still done it, is they have managed to keep the blacks against the whites against the Mexicans, the
What are you
Chinese
talking? It's still
against the
going again.
blacks.
It's still going on.
That's what he just said.
I know
That's what he was saying.
That is by design. That's not accident.
Oh, I know that.
Okay,
That's
because
why I love. That's why I promote Big Nick. I promote Joe Cool. I promote them because they are not racist. They're out there doing that for every fucking body. I've seen them talk to whites. I've seen them talk to Hispanics. I've seen them talk to their black padres, whatever. Okay. All of them. Okay. They are not racist. They're out there saying, fuck this racist divide. Everybody needs to learn this.
Yep.
But that's where our problem is. They do this so that, you're not going to pile up in this pile across the country and attack them because, well, you're not. You're going to pile up in this little pile, this little pile, this little pile, and you're going to bite at them. But that's it. That's all you're going to accomplish.
Yep.
Then you got the whole political party thing. Again, dividing everybody up even more.
Hey, Spartacus. Hey, Spartacus, how are you, bud?
Spartacus hugs.
Well, here's the problem, and this has been proven throughout history. Let's take the fall of the Roman Empire. Okay. There was a spark that brought the downfall of the Roman Empire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There was a spark that took down the fucking English Crusades. Okay. And I'm talking mortal enemies that have warred with each other for thousands of years prior to that, stood side by side to stop this shit. And then they went back to fighting after it was all said and done. Okay. But it's like with me and my sister. Me and my sister can beat the fucking living hell out of each other. Don't get in between us. We'll beat the fuck out of you and then go back to beating the fuck out of each other. Okay. That's the way it was. Same difference, you know.
The big topic tonight, Sparkus, is the fact that about 3 hours, 3.5 hours ago, News Now Fort Worth sister-in-law had her child ripped from her.
It wasn't that long ago, actually, because I've been live streaming for 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Well,
about 2 hours ago.
It says on here. Well, the latest video was 2 hours ago, but
yeah, the video with her getting her damn arm stripped, the live stream with her getting the child stripped out of her arm was about 2 hours ago, give or take. Yeah. And that's what got me the worst out of that whole damn deal.
And if you need me to post it, Spark, I will. I've been posting it on and off all night.
Well, they said she had been in contact with DCS. Because she had said something, we just talked. Why didn't you tell me? I would have drove them there to you and let you check them, or drove the baby to you, let's check the baby out. Myself, personally, the wisest thing she could have done was take the baby to a doctor. Whenever she spoke to this woman, that way you can sit there and say, I've got a medical professional who has checked this baby out. This baby is healthy, not harmed in any way, and safe.
Yeah, you're right on that. I agree.
I did. My first wife was abusing my kids. And when I found out, that was the first thing I done was took the baby or the babies to the doctor. And had the doctor, which worked out good for me. He was also the coroner in the county. Do me, check them out. and verify the very things that I said had happened. He verified every one of them, and then gave me the report, which I took DCS and got her ass put, sent off and all this. But I took care of my kids. I did what I was supposed to do.
Good man. Good man.
If you take and if anybody ever thinks they're coming to check your kids, take them to a doctor, take them to an ER, have them checked. I mean, if you haven't hurt your kids, they might find a little bruise or something, but a doctor is going to know that that's just one of the things that happens. And, you go from there.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for them to go to a judge and say, Judge, I know this baby's being abused. When you're going to stand up in front of the judge right after that and say, right here's the doctor's report that was done 2 hours before they showed up, saying the baby was not hurt, was not abused.
Lieutenant was supposed to call me back about something I saw on YouTube that your officers did entirely wrong, and he still hasn't called me back. I was just wondering if that was just an attempt for the sergeant just to get off the phone so he didn't have to talk to me, or if it was just, or they just decided not to call me back.
Okay, what's your address?
I ain't giving you my address, but I can give you my name. It's Caswell. Last name's Caswell. Phone number.
Okay.
The phone number is the phone number is 1-717-797-7298. The sergeant said that the lieutenant was willing to talk to me on the phone, and he has yet to call me back. It's been almost an hour, 15 minutes. So
Okay, they tried calling multiple times to call you back.
that's bull crap. That my phone would have rang. It's been right beside me.
Okay, you want me to have them try again?
Yeah, give them the number I just gave you, 717-797-7298.
Okay.
Because if he would have called that, my phone's been sitting right beside me this whole time. I would have heard it.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks.
Yep. There's the start of their lives.
Yep.
Yeah, she didn't know what to say.
Yep. Because I just called her on her bullshit.
Yes, she did.
Yep.
I call it how it is. She lied. I said, that's a lie. Let's see if the guy's got the balls yet to call me. I bet you don't. You want to bet?
He doesn't. He doesn't. Because he would have called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did called.
No. He's
Yeah,
too worried about getting that. He's too worried about getting that warrant signed that isn't signed.
That sergeant didn't have no problem calling me back, did he?
No.
I'll rest my case. Let's try again, people. I want to talk to this dumb fuck. And I've really calmed down a lot, so I might be able to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, stay calm for the mom because start yawning. That's not helping the
Hey,
mom.
you're a poet. Didn't even know it. You made a rhyme in time. Say, stay calm for the mom. It's like I said, you're a poet and didn't even know it. I'll be right back, guys. I need more coffee.
But yeah, it's been like crazy. I'm also calming down too and playing my game.
Damn it.
I thought you made some.
Drank already.
Oh wow.
I made coffee and I already drank the damn shit. I'm sorry, guys, about that. About my you got to see true temper there and true hatred
It's like I said, I was going to go live, but I
at
was
the
waiting
first
for
of my
myself to calm
stream.
down before I went live.
You saw true hatred at the first of my stream. When you get me to the point I'm crying, I'm so mad. That's true hatred.
Hey, that lady didn't give you an estimated time?
Nope.
She
They
should
didn't
be
give
able
me
to
an
ask this
estimated time
guy.
the last time either.
Nope.
She should be able to ask the guy, you know?
Nope. He ain't gonna call back because they're too damn chicken, and he's too worried about getting that warrant because he got called out. Because when he was on with them with the first time, and I heard him on there, I opened up the bedroom door, and I went. And I said, "You know what?" I said, "It was just Saul again. Watch the thing. There is no signature on that warrant." I said it. I wasn't yelling, but I was deep voice about it.
And I'd already told them that. I'd
Yep,
already told them
they
that.
heard from a second person saying it. That
And
even
then,
scared me more.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. And then you just reaffirmed it. That means, that meant they fucked up and they know they got caught. I don't care about the number one stock to buy right now. Oh, pardon me, guys.
Oh,
Didn't mean to burp. But
you're
no,
good.
I feel better. So what you up to tonight, Juanito?
I'm
Just
it's
sitting
like
here.
9:30 where I am,
Hmm.
and I'm hungry.
Well,
And
why the
so
hell ain't you ate something?
so I'm gonna eat something in a few minutes.
Oh, okay. I don't blame you. I normally eat when I'm hungry too.
Weird how that helps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I am not
Up when I'm
sleeping.
hungry.
I'm just playing the game. That's why I'm looking down.
I
Before
hope
anybody
that
thinks
guy
I'm
calls.
sleeping.
It almost makes me wonder if they found this broadcast and know I'm fucking gonna fucking put his ass on fucking YouTube.
More
If
than
he
likely.
fucking calls me.
I told you my screen was freezing up. And my phone. They were tracing.
You piece of shit. I hope he's listening.
You better do what's right if you are listening.
That's right. We ain't fucking around.
That child is in no danger from that home that you took him out of.
There's
That's
not.
right. Accountability. That's all we want. Transparency and accountability.
Hmm.
I didn't mean to put it on there. Just going twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Huh.
There used to be a book called The Walk Across America by a man named Peter Jenkins.
And Peter Jenkins, huh?
Yeah, he went to California there to the ocean,
Uh-huh.
and he walked to Florida and touched the other ocean. And he wrote a book about the journey.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
He was fed up, and he wanted to go out and find see what the real world's about, and he just kind of depended on people to make it, and he found out there's some real good people in America.
Oh, they broke in. They found out where my phone is. My GPS just turned on. I don't know what they used, but my GPS just turned on.
Aha.
Amazing.
Because I keep my GPS off.
You didn't want to give your address, so they went and got it.
Do what? No.
If they were smart, they would do the right thing. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
You're
how
just
you get, and that's how you get past them doing their fucking thing. Just turn off your mobile data.
It's just transparency, you know?
Yep.
Transparency and accountability.
Yep, they're tracing it right now.
They can trace all they want.
But it's got my phone blocked up to where I can't even call out right now.
Now that they
Nope.
can't do.
It just now came on. Hello? Nope.
See, that's what they did to me. They blocked my phone, my house phone, when I was doing that, that stuff for Val. And they didn't shut off my internet. They shut off my phone.
Well, guys, I hate to do it, but it's bedtime. I gotta be up at 6. So.
All right, bro. You be safe and you be careful.
Have
All
a
right,
good
yeah.
night. Have a good night there.
Who's leaving?
News now across America.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to slide out of here. Y'all take care. God bless. And I'll try to catch you next stream.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Awesome, Nuckins.
Awesome, Nuckins.
Nuckins, you can jump on panel.
That's the voicemail they left.
Yeah.
Hear that tick, 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 tick?
Yep.
County Sheriff's Department.
That's them tracing my phone.
You just go on thumbnail, your thumbnail. Nuckins.
Yeah, go on your thumbnail. Not everybody looks, at their pic all the time. I brushed my beard just for this.
Haha.
You can hear that tick, 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 tick in the background.
Yep.
That's them tracing my phone. I want this out here on the live stream right now, so you all know what's going on.
This is Lieutenant Bowman with the Tarrant County Sheriff's Department. Did you need to speak to somebody?
They know they're talking to my voicemail by saying that.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete.
Because with my voicemail, when you get my voicemail, I say, you got my device, you know what to do.
Yep.
Okay. If you can't figure out that's a voicemail,
So
then
there's-
then you're too stupid to even be a cop. So I'll try calling them back. Yet again.
Yeah, call him. Try him again.
and keep calm.
I will. Believe me.
Yeah, you got to keep calm.
Tarrant County, this is Rachel.
Yes, Rachel. Your lieutenant likes to talk to my voicemail, evidently, because you were tracing my phone, it wasn't allowing the call to come through to my phone. Because my programming was blocking your trace. By the way, nice Obama program. Been traced by that one before. I would like to talk to your lieutenant if she is there. Yeah, she acted like she was talking to me on a voicemail, she thought when I say this is my device, you know what to do. You don't need to talk to my voicemail like you're talking to me, because I ain't gonna be able to pick up on a voicemail. Okay, this is a cell phone. It should tell you it's a cell phone. So may I please talk to the lieutenant? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm holding. Now they're recording me. By the way, I wonder if they know they're being recorded too. I need to let them know that, because this is Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
By the way, I wonder if they know. Yes. By the way, I needed to let you know I am recording you all. Okay. Unfortunately, with Pennsylvania, you got to let them know if you're on a phone call like this.
Yeah, you gotta let them know.
Now you can pick up the phone. You can pick up and video them all you want, not let them know.
They put you right to voicemail or a voice thing?
Mm-mm.
They're retracing it.
Yeah, they're tracing me again. That's what that is. Hey, Salty, what's up, man?
Did you ever
Hey,
get that?
Salty!
Did you ever
Man,
get that
the
call,
Salty
Cammy?
man. I can't hear him.
Right now, I'm waiting on them to get the lieutenant. They're tracing my phone right now. That's what
Can you
you're
hear
hearing.
Salty?
That's what you're hearing, that beeping.
Can you hear Salty Rant talk?
I sure can.
So basically, my wife got a voicemail this morning by a guy,
All right. I'm going to
former
go out and
friend,
come back in because I don't hear him.
All right.
former friend accusing me of giving out his phone number because he got a threatening text message this morning, allegedly. So before I came in here, I was in Wymito's panel, and I was talking to him about doing my FOIA request.
Lieutenant Bowman.
All right, guys. Hey, Lieutenant Bowman, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Not so well with some of the stuff I saw tonight. Huh? Y'all serving an unsigned warrant to steal a child from someone's arms. It wasn't a video, it was a live feed. It can't be cut, it can't be spliced, it can't be nothing when it's live. Oh yeah, because I saw that unsigned warrant. I saw that unsigned warrant up against the window.
Okay.
No, that yeah. How'd I know you were going to try to do something like that instead of doing your job as it is now? Because you are the head officer. Why are you not taking them cops and reprimanding them now? You don't want to, because that's your job. So you ain't going to do your job and uphold the law against your own freaking cops? Why are them cops not in your jail for breaking the law? Why did you not arrest your cops for breaking the law? It's your job not to uphold the law. Why are you not answering my question? Why are you not answering my question? Why are you not answering my question? Why are them cops not in jail for breaking the law? This ain't a complaint. This is what I'm asking you, why you did not do your job as the overseeing officer tonight and arrest your officers for doing a false introduction of a search warrant that had no signatures on it. And why won't you answer my question? And why did you not arrest your officers for breaking the law and breaking and entering into a house? Well, you can watch it and go see what happened, and you should be arresting them right now. And you're supposed to have been the lieutenant that was with them when they served the warrant. That's what I was told by the sergeant. So so is the sergeant lying to me, or are you lying to me? Yo, your sergeant lied to me because I talked to your sergeant at 11:22. Uh, 11:22 my time. I'm in Eastern time. So so that would have been 10:22 your time. So that would have still been before you after your shift change. So yeah, I'll take it. But I still don't know why you ain't arresting your cops for doing an illegal warrant presentation. Once again, I want to know why you ain't doing your job as a police officer and upholding the law. 4 1 1 8. So you're going to tell me you're going to let Nazis get away with being Nazis in our country? Because that's what the Nazis used to do. You know, that's what the Nazis used to do, to steal children from Jews. You know that, right? So you're going to let Nazis be Nazis and not do your job and arrest your officers for breaking the law. You swore to uphold the law, did you or did you not? Will you answer my question? Because you know what I'm saying is the truth. You swore to uphold the law. You swore to uphold the law, and you held your little hand up and swore to uphold the law, and yet you are not upholding your law. Why are you not upholding the law? Why are you not upholding the law? Why are you not upholding the law? It's a simple question. It's a simple question. Why are you not upholding the law and putting your officers in jail for breaking the law? Lieutenant, why can you not answer a simple question? It's a simple question. It ain't no argument. Did you or did you not swear to uphold the law? Yes or no? Did you or did you not swear to uphold the law, lady? Did you or did you not swear to uphold the law? Yes or no? Are you this dumb? Are you really this dumb? Are you this dumb to repeat the same thing when I'm asking you a yes or no question about your abilities as a cop? And why will you not answer my question? At least give me that answer. And not because you don't want to argue, because there ain't no argument there. Because I know what you do. You raise your little freaking right hand and go, I swear to uphold the law and defend the Constitution against domestic and foreign enemies. Well, guess what? Your cops broke two different things on your oath. They didn't uphold the law, and they also did not defend the Constitution against foreign and domestic enemies by breaking into a house under a false warrant. You're right, I ain't making no progress, but I don't care. I don't care. I like talking to dumbs like this. And listen to what they got to say to every question that I got to say. So you're telling me you will not arrest your officers for breaking the law tonight? You're telling me that you will not arrest your officers for breaking the law tonight? You're telling me you are not going to arrest your officers and do your job as a officer and arrest your officers for breaking the law tonight? Yeah, I had to call her back because she kept playing games with me, and she kept playing games with me and even tried to talk to my voicemail like she was talking to me to try to say she called me and talked to me. So you're telling me you're just going to let your officers get away with breaking the law and not care? So you're just as much of a Nazi as your officers. You're a Nazi. That's what you're telling me. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. You keep saying that. You keep saying that, but now you're just telling me you're a Nazi. That's what you're telling me. You're as much of a Nazi as your officers are. You're a Nazi. Dang, you should make a recording of this. It'd be easier than having to say it over and over again, ain't it? I'm a Nazi. I'm a Nazi. That's what I'm hearing. I'm a Nazi. You know, I pay your salary. I'm your boss. And don't tell me because I don't live in your state, I don't pay your salary. Yes, I do, because you get government grants that pay your salary every year. And guess who helps pay for those government grants? My tax money. So again, you're sitting there talking to your employer like he's a piece of crap. Yeah, she is part of the problem. Very much so. Very much so. She's just as much of a Nazi as any one of them cops that was there tonight. Oh, I don't have. Oh, I have a problem with them too. You said that right too. Yep, she's just as much. I doubt she's even the lieutenant. I almost bet she's not even the lieutenant. I want to talk to your lieutenant, please. Thank you. I don't believe you. I believe you about like I believe you. Don't you see? You lied about your oath, so I don't believe you're telling me the truth now. Okay, so let me talk to your lieutenant. Yeah, you lied about your oath. So how do I believe that you're telling me you ain't telling me a lie now? So let me talk to your supervising officer. Yeah, and I believe that about like you lied about your oath. I want your lieutenant, please. May I please talk to your lieutenant? And like I said, you broke your oath tonight, and to keep saying you're going to break your oath by not arresting your officers tonight and just telling me to let internal affairs take care of it. You keep breaking your oath. And every time you say that, you're telling me you're going to break your oath as an officer. Which makes you just as big of a piece of crap as them officers were tonight. I'm not answering you. You won't answer me. Why should I answer you? And I pay your salary. You don't pay my salary. You don't pay my salary. I pay yours. Like I said, I pay your salary. You don't pay mine. And you're treating me like
We the people.
And you're allowing your officers to do this?
We the
Badge
people.
number.
May I have your badge number?
We the people.
May I have the badge number of the two officers that snatched that child out of that woman's hands? Okay, so what's their badge numbers? You know their name. What's their badge numbers? Sergeant Yabbert. Okay. Louis Yabbert. Oh my God, that guy's got the same last name as my mother. I hope he ain't related. 'Cause Sergeant Wright. Wright. Yep, same as my mother. I hope he ain't related to me. Well, she just gave me the sergeant's names. The sergeant name, which is Sergeant Wright, and Lieutenant Yabbert was the supposed lieutenant on scene. But you got to remember, the sergeant told me she was the lieutenant on scene. So. Yep, and you were recorded through this whole thing. I also let your dispatch know I was recording.
That's fine, because you were recorded also, so I hope you have a fabulous evening, sir. Thank you.
I don't care if you record me at all. I have the right to redress my government officials, my public servants at any given time. So you can record me all you want. And if I wanted to cuss you out, I could do it. It's called freedom of speech. But I was being very polite and didn't cuss you out, even though you were being very rude and not answering questions. Now, we'll terminate this call. Now, if you want the number for their internal affairs, it's 817-884-1108. That's their internal affairs number. If you would like to address this with their internal affairs, but we know how it goes about cops, policing cops. As you just seen, she wasn't arresting her cops for breaking and entering into a house with a false police report.
Yeah, she didn't deny it.
Nope.
It's always damning evidence when the cops don't deny the claim you're making, but they just try to push you off to the side or shove you off and not really answer questions. So I think you have a case. I think a case can be made for internal affairs, but again, if it's the police investigating the police, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yep, and you know that.
Why don't more police departments have a civilian oversight committee where the civilian board investigates the police?
Because people will not get together and band together to protest against it to where it'll happen. It's in a nutshell. If we all got together, I mean, everybody in the United States got together and said, we want oversight, outside influence of oversight committees on every police force. You would see a big difference in how they police.
But here's the problem with that. It's such a massive undertaking that even if we could get organized, which I don't think we could, because we're so different, every one of us. We all have different beliefs and philosophies. Some people like myself are pro-cop, but that doesn't mean that I don't want a civilian oversight committee to investigate the cops. I do. I think if we had more civilian oversight committees, but here's the problem with that. If you're going to have a civilian oversight committee policing the police department and the things that they do, you have to have informed citizens that know what a police officer's job is and isn't, what it entails and what it does not. Because I can tell you there's a lot of misconceptions right now.
Get rid of her now, Jim. Get rid of her now. I do not want to troll in my stream on
I'm on it.
Fuck them motherfuckers.
Oh, and you know better than that.
This is not troll time. This is time to get people's children back in their hand. Fuck
and
you, fucking
and if it's not Helen and it's Eminem, you need to get off her account because that's going against policy.
Excuse my language and sorry for jumping on you there, Salty, and sorry for anybody else out there. This is not troll time. This is fucking important time. Getting children back where they belong in their parents' hands, not freaking troll bullshit. I apologize, but that pissed me off more than even the cops. Tonight.
Well, that's the whole point of it. This is what guys like Eminem and others will do. They want to trigger you.
Well,
they win when they get a negative
and
response.
I know that's Eminem because Eminem, Helen would not call you Will.
Yep. Of course not. Anyway, like I was saying,
and no, go ahead.
The general public needs to know exactly what the police officers face day in and day out. I'm not saying that's an excuse for the cops to not do their jobs correctly, but what I am saying is if you have a civilian control board watching the police and watching their reactions, it helps for the civilian control board to know the duties of the police officers, what they face day in and day out on the street and in real life, to know how better to hold the police accountable for the things they're doing. A warrantless piece of paper is just that. It's an unsigned document. It means nothing.
Right.
You can't use it. And for them to use it, I feel that they were in error and in contempt of the law. They were in contempt of themselves by using that piece of paper, if that even makes any sense.
Right.
For the supervision of the police to allow it shows you right then and there. They don't care. And when CPS, Child Protective Services, sets their sights on a child, they more often than not get what they want, unless they're met with an armed militia or a parent or parents on private property hold up, making it inaccessible for the Child Protective Services workers to get to. I've seen a guy in Utah, Dean Dean, and Child Protective Services tried to interview his kids, and they were trying to remove his kids, saying he didn't have suitable plumbing in his house. And he's got YouTube videos about it. Child Protective Services came to his house, and he basically told the guy to get off his property because he was trespassing. And once he pulled out his camera and started filming him and making a live video for YouTube, the CPS worker had nothing to say. He shut down because he doesn't want it recorded.
Yep.
Here's the problem with that. If CPS wants to go above and beyond scrutiny by the public, they need to be transparent. They need to be on camera saying what they're saying. Their policies are not law.
Right.
Their policies don't fit them and the agenda they're pushing. I don't have children, but if I did, you know damn well I'd be like every other good parent out there fighting for my kids, making sure they had a clean, safe place to sleep, clean clothes, food, water, shelter, so on and so forth. It's these bad parents that mistreat their children, burning them with cigarettes, beating them, molesting them, raping them, selling them to people to be raped and tortured, that need to be taken off. Those are the kids that need to be taken away from the parents. A good, loving relationship. I've seen it time and time again. I have a buddy in Vegas, and
I meet his backstage.
From his first marriage, he lies about it. It's all about custody. He got his kids taken away for a 24-hour period. Him and his wife were pissed. He got put on probation, had to take his guns and put them somewhere else. And he's an armed security officer. So basically, CPS tried to rail him, and they didn't win. He went to court against his mother-in-law, well, not his mother-in-law, his stepmom, who had custody of his oldest kids from previous marriage, and found out this was all a lie by his mother because she couldn't go out and smoke drugs and drink, and she was only 17. She couldn't go out and have sex with her boyfriend who was like 19. So basically, you got to watch it because when CPS gets involved, there are a lot of little things that add up to something great. And in most cases, from what I've seen, CPS is a bureaucratic agent of the government looking to control people and do what they want to do. More often than not, I've seen children removed from good homes, loving homes, homes where they're getting the nurture and loving that they need, as compared to what CPS thinks kids need. This is a problem. We have to do away with CPS, or we have to, as taxpayers, make it as to where CPS can't do this to our kids. Or
Did
well,
you
I said
know,
your
and here's another statistic that a lot of people don't know. Did you know 43% of CPS workers do not have kids?
Yeah, I do know that.
43% don't know how to even raise a kid. Ain't never had a kid to raise. And they're trying to tell other people how to raise their kids.
Well, what it is they're trying to go by their CPS policies. CPS policies are fine and dandy, but they don't work in the real world with real parents, people who love their children and treat their kids with respect and love.
Yep.
You know, it's a bond between a father and a child, a mother and a child. They're trying to break up family units, probably because most CPS are all about I wouldn't say so much fraudulent activity, but they're all about getting paid. It's a money making is what it is. It's all about money. Like you say, the more children they have, the more grants they get from the government. But unfortunately,
David.
Good people who are good parents, loving parents, are losing the respect of their community, and they're losing the ability to take care of their kids the best way they know how because of the CPS bullshit.
Right.
And when the cops get involved, you know it's all bad. It's going to be all bad.
Yep.
I'm not saying all cops are cut from the same cloth. I never will say that. But when it comes to the CPS thing, you wonder because, well, the cops are there to enforce CPS and what CPS is saying, but you have to wonder about the level of corruption on the part of the law enforcement agency tasked to be there for the CPS workers and the agents. And I got to tell you, if I was a police officer, I wouldn't want to be associated with that stank.
No.
I would refuse to do it. I'd probably cost me my job, but you know what? At least I would go to bed at night knowing I made the right decision.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of law enforcement officers that don't say no, and they don't speak out because they're worried about losing their tenure, their job, and their retirement. They're worried about being fired from that job because they know it's wrong, and a lot more would speak out if no consequences came to them. But they can't speak out. Their hands are tied. So, do the police become part of the problem? Kinda.
Yeah.
You know, there's a way to go ahead and handle it. But if the cops are refusing to handle it, and they're refusing to do the right thing and speak up, then you have to think that the agencies involved are part of the ongoing problem. And I know that's unfair to characterize all police officers and all agencies that way, and that's not what I'm doing. But the ones that are involved, you have to ask yourself, why are they involved? Why aren't they speaking up and doing what's right? There's a lot of good men and women in law enforcement. They're not all bad, but when you see the auditors and the contact made with law enforcement, it seems like it's all bad. It's like all the bad apples just keep falling out of the sky.
Right. Well,
like again,
this is my really, truly, my second bad dealings with any cops. And as far as me recording them, I've never had a problem with a cop when I was when I had recorded them on either static video or even live. I actually had halfway decent dealings with them, you know, when I do that. From the Game and Fish to to county cops to even a state patrolman. I believe I put that one up. It was all decent freaking videos. Okay.
Right.
But as far as pulling them, they grow big hairy balls. Even the women grow big hairy balls, and think they can, because you're calling them. They don't have to listen to you or be a public servant. This is twice I've made phone calls to police that sat there and been just like her. Didn't want to answer questions. Push it off. Fuck you. And I know what my internal affairs going to do. That's why I'm giving you their number right now. I have no problem giving it to you because I know what they're going to do. They're going to say good job and go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's real unfortunate when that happens. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Now I've had some good cops. I didn't get to. This was before I had DU recorder, and really when I was just starting into the community. I've had a couple of good calls with cops where they made something happen, and they were very nice. They weren't dickish like this bitch was. Okay. And just kept repeating herself. Like I told her, maybe she should make a recording of that and just put it on recording, on a repeat recording. It's better than her having to say it all the time. You know.
Like I said, it's an unfortunate circumstance, and it's a byproduct of the system. The system is broken.
David. Love and hugs.
The system is broken. Until you fix the system, nothing is going to be right.
Yep. And it is. You ain't kidding. It's broke. It's broke bad.
And you take kids out of loving homes with loving parents, and you're thrusting them into the community where they're going to be a foster child. There are people out there that love kids and they want to raise them the right way. But the problem with the foster care system is it depends on how many kids are in the household.
Yep.
And it depends on whether or not those kids are going to get the nourishment they need as far as, a one-on-one relationship with loving, caring parents. The foster system is broken in a lot of ways. There are a lot of good foster parents. I have a friend that grew up in foster care. And then adopted by his mother. And he got in contact with his real biological father years later. But he struggled growing up because, he was in a foster care home with several other foster care kids.
My problem is to take a child from a home that is a loving home, okay, and to throw them into that, which is better? The loving arms and the loving warm embrace of a mother, the real mother, or a foster home?
Well, here's the thing.
Here's my experience.
I'm going to go watch the video
it's hard to love a child that's not your own blood like a child that is your own blood.
Yeah, people do it all the time on me till they adopt.
Well, I agree.
People can't have children, they adopt. But
I agree. But there's plenty of children out there. There are plenty of children out there waiting to be adopted. They don't have to go steal someone from a loving home and put them in there to be adopted. Okay, there's plenty of other children out there right now, today, that so much so that orphanages are over freaking flowing.
Yeah.
In the United States, that they don't even know where they're going to sleep at night because their dang government facility is so full, okay, that they're out there on the streets, whatever. And I'm talking, these are 9 and 10-year-olds which I've seen with my own 2 eyes down in Florida. 9 and 10-year-olds out at 12 o'clock at night looking for a place to sleep because their government facility was too full to house them that night. Okay, so there's plenty of kids out there. They don't need to be going to these people's houses that love their kids and stealing them just to put them in there into a government facility. Okay, you see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a dick. Now, if they know that that kid was being beat on, they know that kid was whatever, then by all means, do what you got to do. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. But if you looked at that kid was a healthy baby.
Yeah.
And you could tell by the way she was trying to give that child
She did a
off to
mother
someone.
thing.
She was trying to give that child off to someone
Now-
to get it out of the direct fire of them
Here's
cops
the
and
worst part.
everything
What if
else.
it wasn't on film?
Yeah. They would have
What
got
if none
away
of
with
this is on
murder.
film? What if your word against PPS? And you know the government agency is going to win.
Yep. If it wasn't all on film, you're right. And hopefully they go back and see the things that me and Jen seen and other people seen as well. And they take the time to actually watch it and read the freaking chats and look to see what's going on. Okay. So they do understand what them cops did was wrong. And that they have a case to get their child back with. And also sue the fuck out of them for doing that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, though, it's going to take some time to take it to court and sue them, and they get a reverse. So in the meantime, the child is away from its loving parents. The child may suffer trauma. I don't know. I mean, because you know,
Oh, it probably
child-
already did. I mean, they knocked the mom down with the child in her arms, and then ripped the child out of the mom's arms to give it to the CPS.
Well, you know, these foster homes get money, right? And a lot of them just do it for the money, and they abuse the children.
Yep.
Well, CPS
And also,
CPS
there's
gets money for each
chomos
child
out
that's in
there
a foster home.
get set up in that program because they want to have children at the house. There's some bad stuff out there.
Yeah, they broke up a couple that down in Florida just for doing that. They had like 30 foster children in their home, and they were letting them kids do whatever they wanted to do. And then if they caught them, if they weren't doing what they wanted to do right then and there, they beat the hell out of them and everything else. And finally, after about 10 years of complaints, they did something about it and took that foster home down.
You see, if you could get like 6 foster children, you can retire.
They had 30.
You make enough money to not have to work.
Right. They literally had 30 that they were in control of.
That was a business for them.
Yes, it was. And that's all it was. And if them kids didn't do what they said to do at the time they said to do it, they got the hell beat out of them. I mean, literally, from head to toe, the hell beat out of them.
Yep.
And it took 10 years of complaining for them to actually be shut down. That's what was the saddest part about it all.
And should looking at a kid like that, is looking like a dollar bill. That's like having a prostitute, just having another body around to make another money.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's another form of human trafficking.
Yeah,
it really is. It's just
They
really.
It can have a lasting damage on the mind, the mental of a kid.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Some of them kids had to go to. They finally got them into psychiatric care and things like that because they had very bad PTSD from living in them homes and things like that.
Yeah.
And then finally got them after 10 years of complaints. One of them got old enough and got a decent enough job to get a lawyer. to make people do what they needed to do and do it properly, and they shut them down. And that's the only reason that foster home got shut down, or it'd probably still be going today.
You're right.
That's the very sad part about all that.
It's absolutely disgusting, and it breaks my heart. Yes, the Salty Rant has a heart. Salty Rant feels for innocent kids because it's the kids that are the victims in all this.
Yes.
Because of the system. How many of those? I don't have any stats to prove, but how many serial killers grew up in foster care?
Hold on. Oh,
Yeah, or chomos.
I'll give you that.
How many of the
How many chomos head up to foster care?
How many of the bad people in our so-called good society, like the people we consider bad, like child molesters and rapists, serial killers, criminals, hardcore criminals, how many of them grew up in foster care? How many came from broken families?
Yep.
So obviously, when you look at the totality of it, foster care isn't that great. It's actually helping create monsters that decades later will resurface and be unwanted in our society. And you have to look at it like that. And I know it sounds crazy, but I think I bring up a pretty good point. How many serial killers, how many child molesters and rapists, really bad people, grew up in foster care, not being loved, not being wanted by their own birth parents, or believing that because they were taken away from their parents for some reason or another, only to grow up with that on their mind, that no one loves them, no one cares for them, and they're lower than a piece of shit.
According to Google, 27% of foster children turn out to be serial rapists or child molesters.
That's massive. I mean, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's huge.
That's
I'm
very
right now.
What's the percentage?
27%.
Oh,
That's 1 in every 4. That's 1 in 4.
Yep, that's 1 in 4.
That means if you put four foster kids together in a room, one of those is going to turn out that way.
Either a serial killer or a or a child molester. That's sad.
So knowing what we know now about CPS, why aren't we doing more to go after CPS and try to shut it down?
That's what I want to know, and that's what we got to do. We got to get rid of that government agency. That
Because
government
CPS
agency
is taking children, loving homes, and they're making them turn out this way through the indoctrination of foster care. Well, what in the actual fuck? They're
Here's
creating
a statistic that's going to blow your mind. 47% have either tried to commit suicide or have committed suicide.
That's 1 in 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
my
a
God,
flip of a
people
coin.
wake up.
That's
Everybody
a flip of a
needs to wake
coin.
up. Stop being sheeple and wake the fuck up. Foster care and CPS is not your friend.
Nope.
They're creating monsters, and they're getting children, to commit suicide. For what? For money? There has to be a better.
Basically, for money.
That's the flip of a coin. 47%.
Oh, you want some real disturbing? 70.
Hey, do you think that one will commit suicide? Just flip a coin.
Yep. Here's you another one. 74.9% have been maltreated.
There you go.
In child abuse.
That's because the foster homes are a business.
74% have been what?
Maltreated. and then 18.3% were physically or sexually abused.
Yeah, 1 in 4 were sexually abused. That's what I said. There's chomos out there that want to get in as a foster parent.
And them are straight off statistics that I'm reading off Google right now.
Yep.
So
Let me
you know
help
the
you, little
government.
Billy.
Here's
That's
the
absolutely
deal.
fucking disgusting. That's
And
absolutely
here's the
fucking
deal.
disgusting.
Here's the deal. The government is the one who put out them statistics, so you know they're lower than what they actually are.
If the government's putting out those ratings, you know it's going to be a little bit higher because the government's probably fudging on the number to keep it lower.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you could probably up that up by about 3 to 4% at
Yeah.
least, maybe if not more.
Probably. You know,
That's what's even worse.
Fancy's mom was a foster mom, no?
Who's mom?
Fancy, you know the here's your one chance, Fancy, don't let me down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Her mom was a foster mom.
Yep. And sold her into freaking prostitution.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. I don't have any words to describe how I feel.
Yep.
It makes my blood boil just thinking about it.
And you know the sick thing is some of them are abusive, horribly abusive. Not just sexually, physically and mentally abusive.
Here's you another statistic that's going to blow your mind. 80.1% of children that die in a foster home have the one or more of the foster parents involved.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Absolutely disgusting. Man, talk about giving me a headache before work.
Yeah.
And you know, all kinds of abuse. There's verbal abuse. It's not just sexual or physical. There's mental abuse. Mental abuse is way worse or almost as bad as physical abuse.
Let me look that one up.
Yeah, it's almost cult-like in behavior when you think about it. It's really fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
%28% of kids have mental abuse in a foster.
Well, I would think drop it another 2% and go higher, so say 30%. Because if that's what the government's reporting, you know they're lying.
Yep.
It's much higher.
And that's the statistics for long lasting, which is PTSD, mental abuse. And here's you something, because they don't have it updated to this year yet. But as of 2016, 3,000 children die a year in foster homes.
Yep.
That's the
3,000. That. Yeah.
Now, them are some disturbing statistics there, people. Straight off of Google. disturbing. I mean,
It's not also
y'all,
disturbing, it's sick.
it's very sickening. Very sickening, you know. You're right. I agree.
And people wonder why people are yelling. It's like, wake up. This is what you want.
Basically, what they can do is they can do a FOIA request on this and find out where it all originated from.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if their lawyer, family attorney, does a FOIA request. You know, you can obtain quite a bit with a FOIA request. Not to really get off topic, but before we came to your stream, Wymito and I were talking about the FOIA request process because I've been doing something in my spare time as far as doing a FOIA request to see what's what with what. Because I'm tired of people's emotions or opinions on certain things. I need to know certain facts. So for me, I'm going to do a FOIA request if it's even possible.
Yep.
Yeah, that's public information. Obituaries.
Unfortunately, I don't have a name to go with it, and a screen name won't work. But I'm going to contact the IC3 on Wednesday and find out what I have to do to make my FOIA request. They may tell me that I can't do a FOIA request right now.
I'm gonna look up another statistic. Did you know there? Okay, here's another mind-boggling statement. The FBI estimates sex trafficking in the United States involves 100,000 children. 60% of the child sex trafficking victims recovered through FBI raids across the U.S. in 2013 were foster care children.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's children.
Yeah, children. Let's see here. It goes on to say 22% of the children were 12 years of age or under. So 22%. That is gross.
Very gross.
You think about it, right? These guys, they want to abuse children. That's the avenue, right? You go into foster care, and you get set up with the city, and CPS starts bringing you kids.
Yep.
Look at the known Chomo on YouTube. That those weren't his own kids. They were brought to him through someone else.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
They just lurk and wait. They wait like a predator waiting for prey.
Mm-hmm.
And when the right one comes along and it's weak, they make their move. It's like a game of chess.
Yeah, it is.
Freaking Them are disgusting statistics for foster care. Disgusting.
Yeah, they are.
And they want to, and they say they're doing the best for the child by ripping the child out of a home that's loving and throwing them into foster care.
They're supposed to be working with the families, they're keeping them together, not separating them.
Yep. But their whole thing is to try to keep them in that foster care as long as they can.
Yep.
Because money. You've been hitting it on the
Yep.
head, Juanito. You really have. By saying money. Money,
Mhm.
money.
Yep. That's all he
Yeah, because
wants.
if you get
It's
six
all
of
about
that,
a buck. I mean,
you get four to six of them kids, you can quit your job and just stay at home and take care of them kids. Or abuse them kids or whatever you want to do with them kids.
that's just fucking horrible thinking about it. When my buddy was growing up in foster care, he was in a house with 10 other kids at any given time. The ones that turned 18 were told they got to go because the foster parents were no longer responsible.
Right.
When he turned 18, he was pretty much booted out of the house. You know, not like, hey, you know, it's been a pleasure, whatever. I mean, just straight kicked out of the fucking house. Told that, hey, you know, we're no longer responsible for you. Go find your own life. And he was lost.
Yep.
He didn't know what to do. I mean, there was a period of time right after he got out of foster care work. They kicked him out at 18
Jeez,
where he was on the streets.
That's horrible.
Well, the thing about my buddy is he had a lot of life experiences, not so many of the great ones early on, but now he's older, he's in his 40s, he's got a steady job. He actually got adopted. And, yeah, I mean, that worked out for him, but, you know, getting adopted as a teenager, a young adult, it was weird because, you know,
All right.
but there were a couple of years where, you know, guy was homeless. I mean, he's like, man, he goes, I had to fucking, you know, go to a homeless shelter and shit. And he goes, it's no better. He goes, that's why most of the homeless don't go to the homeless shelters because they're run like a prison. I mean, they're real strict. Do this, do that. If you break one rule, you're out. And he was a troubled kid anyway when he was in foster care because of foster care. Well, fortunately for him, he got his life together and, you know, he did some stuff. But man, foster care is a nightmare. I can only imagine what it's like for 10 or 12-year-old kids right now. Just knowing that you don't have a family, that there's no one to love you. There's no one to want to help you. That's got to be the fucking worst feeling in the world, knowing.
That's probably why the statistics are so high on suicide rates.
Yeah. Well,
so I hate to say that.
No, I think you've hit on something there. It's disgusting.
It is. It's very disgusting. Here's you something for Pennsylvania. For one child, the average salary for a foster parent is $35,669 a year.
Which that's a lie. Because a friend of mine did the foster care and adopted, and she didn't get that.
That's what it's saying right here.
Yeah, I'm just saying with someone that went through it all. And
how's the gas in the car? Good. Where were you yesterday?
That's submitted on with the average.
How much gas we got in the car?
The average comes from a submission of 7 different foster parents. So she may have been one of the low ones. but somewhere along the way, some of them had higher,
All
and
right.
some of them had lower. So
It's almost empty. Almost empty. Yeah. So it's a little above the. But the light is on, right? No, the light is not on. Not yet. All right. Come on. By the time I go to the apartments and back, it'll be on. You probably go to the apartments and back. Yeah. I called them around 8. He said he's gonna come. I forgot to mute my mic. Sorry, I'm at work, so I'm gonna go for a little bit. I'll come back.
All right.
But this stuff is just insane, you know. So now we know some get paid very little as foster care parents here in Pennsylvania, and some get paid a lot.
Because she wanted me to
Get
join
that
up
average.
and do the. My friend wanted me to join up and do it because because me and Dan eventually would love to adopt a child. But and she did through the foster care system. But she said she said they lie about how much to give you and shit. You're paying everything out of your own pocket. You're not getting that.
Well, that's her.
Your claim.
That's her. To get that average, they had 7 people. Okay. So some are getting paid very little, and some are getting paid a whole bunch.
Yep.
To get that average. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some are making probably somewhere as much as 80,000 a year for having foster children. Okay, to get that average. Since she ain't making nothing, okay, or very, very little, okay. Another one to average that out to 35,000 is probably making right at about 80,000 a year. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how they get their average. So, I mean, so that's what they're doing.
Now, if I had bigger house and stuff like that, I would do it because I love helping kids.
Right. I understand where you're coming from. But these are just statistics that are on the Google. You know, it's very interesting to see the statistics on the foster home, and they're willing and we're not willing to keep these. We need to be more proactive in trying to get these children back in their parents' hands, not foster home hands. Because as you can see, the statistics say we do not need kids that are in loving homes taken away and put in foster home because you'll ruin the kid. And that's the statistics says it's going to ruin the kid. I mean, they got a 60%, 60,
I can see it. It's a kid.
60.1%. They got a 60.1% of being sold into sex slavery.
Yep.
You know, that's disgusting.
It is
disgusting statistic.
The only way I could see a child not being able to go back home to the parent is that parent ain't willing that parent, is going to keep on like being bad or whatever. The parent, it's actually doing something wrong.
Right. Well, that's about like a friend of mine. Now, she'll tell you she had a very bad drug problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she did. She went to a rehab center for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
She got off of drugs. She ain't even taking methadone to get off her drugs. She's done. She has got her body. If any drugs are smoked around her, other than pot, I'm talking chemical type drugs.
Right.
She literally goes into physical hurling. She's trying to puke her guts out. Everything. She can't stand to be around it anymore. Okay.
Right.
Literally. And she's been tested. I mean, they can pop a test on her at any given time. Okay,
Right.
literally. They can test her, which they've done it. They tested her one day, and then the very next day tested her again to see if she was off. They did that, and almost for like almost 3 weeks straight. And no, they don't give her warning. They just come to the house, say, "Okay, load up. We're taking to go take tests." Okay, and they do the swab test, piss test, and they do a hair test on her.
Yeah.
Every time. Okay, every damn time they do it.
Right.
Okay, so needless to say, and they still have not given her 2 kids back. She's been to court now for 3 years straight trying to get her kids back. She finally last year got visitation rights to her kids. And they're still in a foster fucking home. And one of them, they believe she took them to the doctor and they had signs of sexual abuse. And they
right.
still will not take them out of that freaking goddamn dang foster home because when they took them to the state approved doctor, the state approved doctor, quote unquote, said there was nothing wrong with the child. But yet, 2 private doctors said that the kid showed signs of sexual abuse.
That just tells you.
So there's your corruption there on that even.
Right.
Okay. She's been clean, proven to be clean for 3 years now. Okay. She gets physically sick when chemical drugs are smoked around her and everything else. They can pop a test on her at any given time, and she passes it with flying colors every time. Okay. 3 years of fighting with the courts, and one of the kids even showed signs of being sexually abused, and she still can't get her kids back. That's another sad thing that's happening now.
Yep.
So, there's a lot of stupid, dumb shit going on out there. Just saying.
Yep.
When it comes to children. But there's pretty good, stupid, dumb shit happening to grown-ups too, as we've been seeing. But children are lost in this shuffle too. Children are getting the short end of the stick just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
Man, we need to keep these children from going to the foster homes. We really do. I mean, this shit stupid. It's gotten stupid. And I know. So, well, y'all, I apologize. I see there's still 7 here watching. I apologize, guys. You got to hear some disturbing statistics. You got to see some. If you went and watched the videos, you got to see some disturbing videos tonight, and all that.
Well, kind
It's
of a
gonna-
disturbing phone call too. That person you talked to, they just kind of like didn't, you're another caller calling in, and
Yep.
just another nuisance.
Yep.
That's how I heard it.
Yep. That was it. And she would never even answer
Like-
me why she ain't even arresting these officers for
Like
breaking
they
the
know
law.
what they're doing, and they don't really need your input.
Right.
That's how I took it.
Yep. And she wouldn't answer me even about her oath. I mean,
Well, because sometimes cops make errors, but they don't want to see that. They're human. They're not gods.
well,
They're
they
human.
may.
Sometimes they make errors.
I
And if a
agree.
citizen notices an error, it's okay to voice it and then investigate it. Don't just blow the citizen off like he's just a piece of shit.
Yep. I mean, I don't understand when there is undisputable video proof of them breaking the law. It's undisputable.
Yeah.
How they can even sit there and allow it to happen when they take an oath to uphold the law, especially the fucking lieutenant.
Yep.
That was a lieutenant that did not give a fuck, a supposed lieutenant. I still, like I told her straight up, how can I believe that you're a lieutenant? You're already breaking your oath. You done lied once. Okay, you lied about your oath because you aren't arresting them. How do I know you were even a fucking lieutenant? Yeah.
Hey, Balance just went live and has Lady D involved in the drama.
Who?
Hey, Balance.
Hey, Balance. You know how he does at times. I don't have much of a problem with A Balance, except for I hate when he takes a clip and just cuts up a video. And then he tries to put his own narrative to something. And if you actually watch the whole video, his whole narrative ain't even close to what the actual subject and meaning was about.
Exactly.
I hate when he does that. It's stupid. And these people, his followers, eat it up, and they don't even realize that wasn't even what was talked about. Because they take his word as gospel. It's amazing. I don't have much, like I said, I don't have much of a problem with A Balance, except for when he does that stupid shit right there. If he quit that, I'd probably have an okay opinion of him. But he's going after Knights and all of them.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and cut this stream. I've been on here almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I gave y'all some good food for thought and some good things to think about. Let's try to put our heads together and get something figured out if we can. As one person tried to say, I tried to make the community look like morons or ignorant or whatever. That's not my attempt. My attempt is to open eyes to big
Well,
problems.
you weren't here for the whole damn stream, and we know who it was, so.
Yeah. And that idiot moron also got thrown out of my stream really quick. And we know it was Eminem. It wasn't Helen, because they used my name. It actually, someone else also recently just subscribed to my channel again, and his name's Flow Rider. And I wouldn't be surprised if Flow Rider, that could have been Flow Rider.
No, Flo wouldn't use it. No, that
Y'all
was
gonna tell
Eminem.
me he won't do shit? How many times have you told me he wouldn't do something? And then a month later it come through. Don't tell me he won't do
That was Eminem.
It could actually Eminem don't even call me Will most of the time. The only person that calls me Will is Flow Rider. That's why I said Flow Rider. Just saying.
Too soon?
Not trying to be a prick, but don't. And I don't know how many times I've done that to you, Jim, with Flo. You defend him and defend him and defend him, and then a month later it comes out I was right. So that's one I'm not trying to be a prick. Just my average is way better.
Yep.
So and he's the one that normally calls me Will. Just like you know. Eminem just calls me a dumbass or a fuckhead or a piece of shit or something like that now. Hey, the Salty Rant. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
When I just got to work
Hey,
and
Salty. My main
so
man right there.
looks like our Canadian
Yeehaw.
another Mother A Balance is doing a live stream about Night Shadow and Lady Di and
Hey, I don't hear him. Do you?
Yeah,
OG.
Night Shadow, Lady Di, and OG and all of them. Yeah.
I really don't know how to feel about that. I don't really have an opinion either way.
Hey, News Now Fort Worth. News Now Fort Worth went live after that.
8 Balance. Being stupid as he is.
What's
that?
that?
That's a replay of that. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. That was a replay. They just put a replay on the News Now Fort Worth just put up a video of the replay of the cops coming to the door and stole her sister's baby. It's called "Help Everyone, Please Share and Get Word Out." They stole my sister's baby. They just put that up as another replay of that, just to let you know. It's there. It just came on.
It's absolutely deplorable the things that are happening with kids, like I said.
Yes, it is.
This kind of reminds me of fuck DSS, his situation.
Yes, I agree.
Good living
sorry for them.
at an alarming rate. Also, these
News Now Canuck. Yeah, 8 Balance. Don't worry about him, Nookins.
Yeah, balance is a little bit,
a little
A balance will be a balance. We know that. So, News Now Canuck. Here you go. There you go, Salty. This is what News Now Canuck said. I think you can get a laugh out of that.
Can you read it to me? Because I'm driving.
Oh, it says scratches his nuts and sits down.
Fucking Canuck.
Yep, that damn Canuck.
We love Canuck.
So,
we love you.
Topic of what you were talking about, but I got a disturbing message from my wife when I got up around noon.
Right.
Usually when I come home, I was a half an hour late getting home. I didn't get home till 7. I didn't crawl in bed till like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I think I woke up a little bit after noon. Wasn't feeling too good. Starting to get a cold. And she's like, hey, she goes, have you been contacting so-and-so? I'm like, who? She goes, the MLP. I'm like, no, why? And she goes, well, you changed your phone number recently, right? like, yeah, you know I did. And she goes, well, why is this guy leaving me a voicemail telling me that you're doing things again, stirring up the shit pot and giving his number out, and he's getting threatening messages? I said, you know what? I said, I haven't had contact with him since he wanted me to go to court on that deal where the guy came to my house. I'm not going to say the name.
Yeah.
Because I'm going through my legals with that. And he's telling my wife that I'm giving out his number. People are calling him up and leaving threatening text messages or emails or whatever to him. And that I better knock it off or else. And I'm like, what in the actual fuck? This guy accused me a couple weeks ago of practically murdering somebody on the internet. That's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going to threaten my wife and call my wife on her cell phone just because he has her number and I've told him never to call her again. I mean, I got to tell you, man, you know, YouTube is not a good place to be. That's why I decided to take my break to avoid nonsense like this. And yet my wife is getting threatened all on account I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. And now I'm being accused of taking somebody's number that's been passed around like a carton of cigarettes and a used prostitute. And I mean, it defies logic to me. It really does.
Right.
I honestly don't know what to believe anymore.
I wouldn't believe him.
And then now he's involving my wife of all people just because he has her phone number. And I just told her, I said, you know what? I said, click on that number and then hit the block. So when that guy tries to call or leave a voicemail or whatever, or send you a text message, I said, it won't go through.
Right.
Right. No, I didn't do that.
That's the best thing for your wife to do because she don't need that shit.
My wife doesn't need it. I don't need it. I've walked away from a lot of that shit, only to be drugged back in. Give me a minute.
People just need to stop.
Hey, News Now Canuck, if you get rid of your crabs, you won't have to worry about scratching your nuts no more.
Sure, YouTube lifts his nuts and goes home.
You know, I'm thinking that.
I've got a long night ahead of me. Was your phone just ringing?
No, that was yours.
That was yours getting a notification or something.
Well, I just got to the cemetery, and part of my job duties when I get to work is to run around and check all the buildings and all the equipment. So I'm going to be in and out of the car here for a minute. I love working the cemetery. I wish they could just put like a camper, like a fifth wheel or something out there with all the equipment, and just let me fucking live there during the week. Well, park me in the back of the coroner's trailer. The coroner comes out once a year, and they teach new coroners how to look at body decay and everything else. It's pretty cool.
Right. Here's now Canucks cultivating super crabs for his ex. That's funny shit right there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for making me laugh. I needed it.
I just wish the car was a little bit bigger. I used to have a Crown Vic retired P71 police car. It was a piece of shit, but it was big.
Mhm.
I can get my fat ass into it. Now I feel like I'm driving a tin can, a Toyota Corolla, 2018 with shit almost 90,000 miles on it.
Right.
This thing is used up. It's been rode hard and put away wet.
Yep.
I shall.
I may look calm, but I'm still fucking fuming over this. uh, yeah, I was way too hot back then. Back when I started this, you're right, News Now Canuck. You weren't not gonna get me to laugh then, bud. You're right.
Yep.
Dealing with fucking dumbass cops acting like they gonna tell me what the fuck to do and everything else. Oh, you want to talk about something that'll piss me off so damn quick? Have a cop tell me what the fuck to do when it's their job to do what I asked them to do. That's something they've forgotten too. Cops have forgotten. We are their employer. We pay their damn salary. Okay. You don't tell me what to do.
Who's telling you
That
what
would
to
be
do?
about like going up to your boss at work and saying, "You're going to do this right now, boss." No, you can ask me to do something politely, and I'll do it 9 times out of 10. Okay. But you ain't going to tell me this is the way it's going to go and this is the way
Right.
it's going to be, like that one cop did. And that's the one I really lost it on, Jim. He was trying to tell me this is how it's going to go. And his exact words, this is how you're going to do it. And this is how it's going to be. And I lost it on that motherfucking cop.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, you heard me. You were
I know.
telling me to calm down.
Yeah, I
Jay's
tell you to
asleep
calm
on the
down.
What happened
Yeah, I
tonight?
tell you.
Who told you to do what?
Oh, the first cop I talked to was this little fucking desk jockey. Okay. And I finally got him to admit he wasn't even nothing but a desk jockey. And he thought he was gonna tell me this is how I was going to do something, and this is what you will do. I went and Jen heard. Oh, I went fuck off like a space shuttle, buddy.
I must not know you very well because you don't respond to shit like that. Nobody does.
I went off on him like the space shuttle, and he was going, He wasn't expecting that. He thought I was going to bend over and let him shove it up my ass.
This is why I don't want to get an angry call from you because I don't have that many bucketed dicks left. They've all been taken up
There's that Doug blow Sammy a kiss before he blows it up. Chill out, breathe in, out, in, out. Actually, I'm pretty calm right now, dudes. Now, but telling me what to do like that, I went off on him like a space shuttle. I said, "Oh, my exact words was, oh, fuck no. I am the one who pays your goddamn salary. You don't pay mine. You are serving me. I am your goddamn boss, and you're gonna do what I fucking say." My exact words, but I was a lot louder, and I lost it. I guarantee you my face was purple when I was saying that because I lost it.
We lose Wymito?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wymito, I think he about fell asleep on us there. That was it. So
He's got some really comfortable furniture in his house, I can tell you that.
he's got comfortable furniture.
Oh, yeah. That chair he was sitting in was making him fall asleep.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, I'm very calm. I couldn't fucking right now. I cannot go to the point I was at just to even show you where I was at when that cop did that to me. I'm fucking good.
A-Balance wanted me to host a show where I was calling out OG and Night Shadow, but I don't have a problem with Night Shadow. I kind of have a problem with what OG does, but chalk it up to experience. OG's young; he'll learn.
Yep.
And I guess DDT wanted me to go on a Night Shadow stream tonight and called Night Shadow by his God-given first name. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Nah. You know, the only problem I have with Night Shadow is when he pulled his pants down on his live stream. First, he said, "Yeah, I did it." Second, he says, "Oh, it was just a plastic dildo." And then third, he says, "I didn't do it at all."
It was edited.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
I didn't see
edited.
what he did on the replay. I didn't see the live stream, but
yeah,
I'm like, look, man, if you want to do that, do it. I mean, who's to say you can't? YouTube catches up with you, they catch up with you. Why edit it?
Right. I'm not
ashamed of how small I am. I mean, I'm as big as a fucking thimble.
My problem was he said he got hacked.
Yeah.
And someone edited that to him and put it out on his channel. Okay.
That's almost impossible.
But when it first happened, he said he did it, and he made jokes about it and everything else. Then I mean, there's 3 different stories about the whole thing. The only problem I have is that, you know, he sat there and lied. Somewhere he's lying. Okay. I mean, which one was it? You know, which is the actual fucking truth? You know, that's the only problem I got. You
know, people can make fun of me all they want. I'm bigger than my thumb and I'm thicker than my fucking pinky. But yeah, you know, whatever. God gave me an angry 3-incher. I'm good with it.
There you go. And if you know how to, if you know how to use that tongue, you don't even have to worry about that.
That's the thing. That's the funny thing about not having teeth, man. I got extra girth and length on my tongue.
I know what you mean. I'm in the same boat. I used to never, when I had teeth, I couldn't touch the tip of my nose with my tongue. I can now.
I can't really touch the tip of my nose, but I can touch the insides of a certain.
Just banged against the wall.
Huh?
Was that you that just banged against the wall?
Yeah, that was my head.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I mean, basically, it's like this. I don't care what anyone says. For the most part, you're going to have people that are going to troll to get that response. That's just the way it is. Just live with it. You know, like, I'm not out to dox anyone. I'm doing my own thing. I've been appearing on other people's live shows. I'm not making videos right now. I'm still, you know, taking my vacation, doing my thing. I'm freestyling.
Yep.
I probably will do a show on New Year's Eve because I'll have more than 20 hours. My hours will renew on the 29th, but I'll do a live stream on New Year's Eve before I go into work. Just because, why not? Why shouldn't I? I like to have fun with YouTube. And after January 1st, if we're no longer around, well, I'll find different platforms to go to.
We'll be around. It's just that YouTube will make it harder for anybody to stream. That's all.
Well, they're already doing that.
Yeah, I know.
For a while.
That's why
my Streamlabs doesn't work. StreamYard works perfect. Streamlabs, pure crap.
Oh, there's DDT talking about doxing fucking goddamn Night Shadow. God dang. Who cares?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm trying to get away from all that bullshit. I think what I'm going to take with the salty rant, I'm going to turn it into a live stream panel. Unfortunately, I get a lot of grief from people in Discord. Some of them say, hey, those
They're
people
gonna.
that-
They don't like the fact because people can sit there and actually speak their mind. And they don't like the fact that you can do that.
well, they make references like, hey, some of the people you have on your panel need to get jobs. And I'm like, really? You're going to say some shit like that? Like, really? Like, who cares?
No.
A job doesn't make a person. I've been doing the same type of job for 23 years. I work in a cemetery. I provide a service to the people that go to that cemetery to make sure their loved graves are untampered with. My job doesn't define who I am, never has. And if you think it does, well, you really don't know me.
Right.
I mean, you know, that's really the only way I can say it. And I don't take offense to it. I'll probably end up quitting a bunch of Discords before the end of the year, just so I can keep the Rage Quit King crown, because nobody's going to challenge me on that. You know, there's just a lot of nastiness. Not everyone in Discord is nasty, but there's a good majority that once they get on the bandwagon, and when one person attacks, they all like to jump on and attack. I know because I've done it. I've done it many times, and it's not right. So now I'm going through life and I'm finding out by myself who's who and who's what and what's right, what's wrong, what I want to go ahead and stand for. And, you know, if they don't like it, sorry.
Yeah. But I'm gonna hop out.
Yeah, I'm going to too. I'm going to too. I'm going to close down. I've been on for almost 4 hours now. I'm
Why are you
getting a little
doing like
tired.
this, man?
It's 1:13 in the morning now here, guys. You all try to have a good night. Gave you some food for thought. Gave you all some food for thought. You got to see some interesting things tonight right here. Y'all try to have a good night.
We need to get the word out about CPS for sure.
What?
We need to get the word out about CPS. You know, like we all of us, whether it affects me personally or it affects you personally or it affects only people with kids personally, we all need to band together and try and do something about this corrupt system we call Child Protective Services.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And but on that note, guys.
So when you end in the live stream, or are we still going to talk when you're not live?
We can talk for a little bit, but I ain't going to talk long. I'm tired, so we can talk a little bit. That ain't no problem.
I got some information to pass to you, and I don't want to do it over live stream.
Okay. And I will talk to you in a bit then. All right. Y'all have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye.